Live from Soldier Field, a sellout crowd on hand to watch one of the oldest and most glorious rivalries in NFL history, the Packers and the Bears. And for the Chicago Bears today, a very important game. They are the champs of the Central Division. They want the home field advantage in their playoff game. But 4 teams in the NFC East, all jammed up together, want the same thing. The Bears can help their cause with a victory here today. Hello, everybody. I'm Tim Ryan with Johnny Morris, and today the Chicago Bears go into this ball game with their third-string quarterback. Injuries to Jim McMahon and Steve Fuller have Rusty Lish making his first start ever.
That's right. He'll start today, but they did sign Greg Landry this week, so he could be there as a backup. But the Bears have more problems because their #1 defense has some injuries. Dan Hampton is banged up with the elbow and the knee. Mike Hartenstein won't be starting for the next, since, 10 years since he's missed a game. And Tyrone Keys is injured. Cornerback Leslie Frazier is out, so they have some problems on defense.
Well, the Packers are hurting as well, especially along the offensive line. And Lynn Dickey, who has been bothered with injuries throughout his career, is unable to go today. It'll be a rookie, Randy Wright.
Boy, that's a big chance for Randy Wright. Lynn Dickey has that bad back. He's been getting medication, has had headaches the past few days, so the Packers don't want to risk playing him. Randy Wright, the rookie out of the University of Wisconsin, will get his start. And, the Bears have a tendency on defense to blitz young quarterbacks. Let's see if they do that today, as a big day for Randy Wright, and we're just about ready for the kickoff.
Well, you will not believe the weather here December 9th in Chicago, Illinois, along the windy shores of Lake Michigan. It is a balmy 38 degrees. We could be in Tampa Bay for all you know. Very little wind so far. Sun is coming out and getting more brighter as the afternoon progresses. It is just not your typical December day in Chicago. Al Del Greco will kick it off for the Packers. The deep men are Dave Duerson and Al Cameron for the Chicago Bears. Packers defending to our right in white. The referee today is Jim Tunney, and we are underway. Cameron from the 6-yard line to the 23, and he is met there by number 43, Darrell Jones, a reserve defensive back for the Packers. And the Chicago Bears will start Rusty Lish, the former Notre Dame and St. Louis Cardinal quarterback, who is making his first ever start, however. Suey, Payton, Willie Galt, and Brian Baschnagel, the wide receivers. Baschnagel for the injured Dennis McKinnon. Moorhead, Covert, Ports, Hilgenberg, Becker, and Van Horn across the front line for the Chicago Bears. So Rusty Lish, who came in relief of Steve Fuller on Monday night against San Diego when Fuller went down with his second shoulder separation of the season, getting his first opportunity to start. Play action on first down to Suey for a gain of 4. That's Suey, number 26, knocked out of bounds by the linebacker, number 59, John Anderson, the 7-year vet from Michigan. Defensively for the Green Bay Packers, a team that has improved in this category from number 28 a year ago to number 18 in the league, Carricker and Donnie Humphrey are rookies. The veteran Jones on the nose. Anderson, Scott, Cumbie, and Douglas, a solid group of linebackers. And a fine young secondary, Lee and Lewis on the corners, Mark Murphy, the veteran, with the rookie Tom Flynn in the safety positions. 2nd and 6, Chicago. Payton in motion, play action again. The man open is Anderson, he dropped the ball. Brad Anderson, number 86, dropped the ball. Coverage by Mark Murphy, number 37. Anderson in Dennis McKinnon's spot. Remember, McKinnon out for the rest of the regular season with a knee injury.
I think he committed the cardinal sin. He took a peek at Mark Murphy coming up for the big hit and took his eyes off the ball. And when you take your eyes off the ball, you're going to drop it, as everybody who watches NFL football knows.
Brad Anderson, a rookie from Arizona, their number 6 choice in 1984. Has caught only 3 passes coming into the game. Bears have been solid in the first quarter all season long. That graphic information you just saw supporting that. Lish has lots of time, now runs away from the linebacker Douglas, and he has a first down. Sliding into the 40-yard line, a flag down, probably for a late hit. Cumbie and Randy Scott, the linebackers 52 and 55, made the tackle, and Scott may have arrived a little too late.
One thing Rusty Lish will say even about himself is that the best part of his game is his legs, because he is an excellent runner. He's a good athlete. He couldn't find a receiver downfield and takes off. And John Anderson thought he had him. Number 59 will come up here for the tackle. And Rusty Lish looked like Walter Payton here on this play as he put the little dipsy-do on. Gets down to get the first down, and then you'll see the late hit coming up right here.
Number 55, late on the hit, first down.
And it is Randy Scott charged with the penalty for the late hit, and a first down for the Chicago Bears at the Packers' 45-yard line. Rusty Lish was 18 of 32 against San Diego in relief of Steve Fuller last Monday night. On the season, passing at 54%. He has thrown 61 times coming into the game and has rushed for 102 yards on 9 carries, and you saw him add some more mileage there. Again, play action pass on first down. Lish this time is sacked. He dropped the ball. It's loose with Suey, I believe, making the recovery for the Bears. An alert Matt Suey beating George Cumby, number 52, to the ball, or that would have been a very big play for the Packers. Nonetheless, they made the defensive play on Lish.
They certainly did put the pressure on him, and Lish tried to pull a double dip with another scramble, but you're going to see Michael Douglas in there and Humphrey both in there on the tackle. They stripped the ball loose, and the Packers had a great chance to get the ball here. Anderson couldn't quite get it as Matt Suey sneaked in underneath and saved the ball for the Chicago Bears.
And it was Mike Douglas who stripped the ball from Lish. 2nd and 17. Good protection again. Intended for Payton. What a wrap on Payton from Mark Murphy, number 37. Perfectly timed hit. Payton unable to hold the ball. 3rd down coming up. There's Mark Murphy, the 4-year man from West Liberty State.
Boy, he will hit you, and that's what we were talking about a moment ago when Brad Anderson was looking for him. That time, Payton was concentrating on the ball, but here came Mark Murphy. He has done a heck of a job for the Packers in that secondary. Look at that. He leads the team in tackles with 79. You know he's all over the field.
Charles Martin comes in to make for the Packers. Estes Hood is the nickelback, number 38. 3rd down and 17. Out of the shotgun, Rusty Lish. In difficulty again, and he is sacked. And there is an injured Bear player down as Lish is dropped at the 35. Keith Van Horn, number 78, slow to get up. Charles Martin made the play, number 94.
Okay, Charles Martin, 94, as there's good coverage down the field as the Packers dropped a lot of people off, only 4 men on the rush, and you can see Martin gets a hold of Lish, and he could not get the ball off. Good defense by the Packers when they needed it.
270-pounder from Livingston College, a refugee from both the USFL and the Canadian Football League, signed as a free agent. Tom Flynn is the punt returner. Dave Finzer's punt is taken at the 24. Flynn, number 41, gets it up to the 34-yard line of Green Bay. Wilbur Marshall made the tackle with Dan Raines, a pair of reserve linebackers for Chicago. So the Packers have pretty good field position for their first possession when we return.
Remember when the most wanted gift was electric trains with switches? An erector set with a motor. A chemistry set with a Bunsen burner. Now it's computers with disk drives and printers. Isn't it wonderful you can give a computer as powerful as the Commodore 64 for a price as low as the Commodore 64?
Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Chip.
National Steel is the best of both worlds. American know-how and world-class technology working together to make us the best steel company in America.
The best of both worlds is working for you at the new National Steel.
On the road, 33-yard line.
The Green Bay Packers, 6-8 on the season, trying to finish at the 500 mark under Forrest Gregg. The rookie quarterback, Randy Wright, hands off to Eddie Lee Ivory. And since Ivory's returned from a knee injury earlier in the season, he has been having an outstanding year for the Green Bay Packers, now with 443 yards rushing. Wright, the rookie, for the injured Lynn Dickey. Ivory, Ellis, the running backs. James Lofton and Phillip Epps for the injured John Jefferson, who's out with a rib problem. Huffman for the injured Carl Swanke. Euchre, Blake Moore for the injured McCarron, and Hallstrom and Cook make up the offensive line. 2nd and 6. That's Ivory again, number 40. Trying to get to the first down marker, is stopped short by about a yard, maybe 2, depending on the spot. Steve McMichael and Mike Singletary made the tackle. And the Packer running back slow to get up, Eddie Lee Ivory. Defensively, the Bears starting Henry Wachter for the injured Mike Hartenstein. Wachter signed just a few days ago. McMichael and Hampton. Hampton playing hurt. Richard Dent, the leading sack man in the NFC. Wilson, Singletary, and Harris, the linebackers. And a secondary with Richardson, Sean Gale for the injured Leslie Frazier, Todd Bell, and Gary Fensick are the safeties. And Ivory is being assisted off the field, walking a little slowly following that second carry. It'll be a 3rd and 2 for Green Bay. And that'll bring Harlan Huckleby into the lineup, the 5-year man from Michigan, with Ray Krause, number 21, now in at fullback for Ellis. 3rd and 2 at the Packer 40. Randy Wright intended for Ellis, incomplete. Al Harris had the coverage with Todd Bell helping out, and the Packers will have to punt. So 2 rushes by Ivory, and then an incomplete pass have the Packers surrendering the football. The rookie from Wisconsin, Randy Wright, making the start. Lynn Dickey, as Johnny told you, bothered by headaches, which are as a result of the treatment for his back spasms, which has been a continuing problem for Dickey all season long. The headache's simply too much for him to play today.
And you know, he's been banged up throughout his career, but he had started 43 straight games for the Packers.
Bucky Scribner's punt is a dandy. It drives back Jeff Fisher inside the 20 of the Bears, and he gets no further than the 20-yard line, hit by Mark Murphy and number 99, linebacker John Dorsey. So Chicago will start from their own 20-yard line when we return.
At a recent wine tasting near Rome, some restaurateurs discovered a special American wine.
Elegante.
They thought it excellent.
Buono.
And they tried to guess its price.
10.000.
Most guessed between $7 and $10.
Penso 15.
Except for one.
Not even $3.
Who was the judge who knew the wine did not cost $7 to $10? Francesco Giambelli, who had served the wine at his famous restaurant in New York, Gallo Chablis Blanc. From Ernest and Julio Gallo, all the best.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
My granddaughter told me how much she loved Radio Shack's Petable Portables. They had all sorts of cuddly friends with a radio inside. She said she loved the teddy bear, but she loved the furry fox, too.
And I love you, too, Grandpa.
Well, it was Christmas.
Petable Portable Radio, $11.95 to $21.95, only at Radio Shack.
Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris. This could be September in Chicago, Illinois. Temperatures close to 40 degrees and going up. The sun is out. Rusty Lish hoping for some sun on his first day as the Bears starter. First down from their 21-yard line. No score in the football game. Second Bear possession. Walter Payton looking to throw. Lofts it deep for Willie Gault. Coming back. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Not one of Walter's better throws. Willie Gault was open downfield behind Mark Lee, who forced him out. But Payton could not get the ball that far downfield.
I'd say the timing was a little bit off on that pass because Gault was open all day. But by the time Payton got over there and tried to throw the ball, as you can see Scott coming through here, he gets in the gap there and comes pushing through to kind of force everything out to the outside. And Payton was a little off balance when he threw the ball, and it just didn't have enough oomph on it. Randy Scott.
2nd and 10 for the Bears from their 21. Rusty Lish, 4-year veteran out of Notre Dame, 27 years of age. Picked up on waivers this season from the Cardinals. Walter Payton has a nice hole up the middle and nearly picks up the first down. He'll be very close to it. Mike Douglas, number 53, the linebacker, made the tackle. A fine hole right up the middle by Hilgenberg, Bortz, and Becker.
Now, you talk about a little quickness off the draw play. They say Walter's banged up. Well, sure, he's banged up, but look at this. He just puts the move on Scott right there and just goes right on down the field and almost gets the first down. So aside from the power, he still has that quickness, especially for the first 5 to 10 yards.
And they did give him the first down. So Payton has 11 yards to his credit. And the ball is now at the 31-yard line of Chicago, first down. Calvin Thomas comes in. Brian Bashnagel goes out. then you can see that against the Packers, Peyton has averaged 4.6 a carry. That's pretty handy and consistent duty. Moorhead jumps over and now goes in motion back the other way. Walter Payton diving for about 4 to the 35-yard line of the Bears. We're in the first period with 10:52 remaining and no score. Second Bears possession. Cumbie 52, Anderson 59 made the stop.
And you talk about a little history. This is the 129th meeting between these teams. The Bears have won 69, the Packers 54, with 6 ties over the years. And the two teams that you're looking at down on the field have won more championships than any other two teams in the National Football League. The Packers, 11 titles, the Bears, 8 titles. So a lot of history right down there on this football field.
Second down and 7 for Chicago. Walter Payton has the hole, and this time will be stopped short of the first down, but he is close again. Hit by Terry Jones. Jones alternates with Bill Neal at the nose tackle position. They alternate by quarter. Jones will work 1 and 3, and Bill Neal, the former Giant, will work second quarter and the fourth period. It'll be third down, less than a yard to go. The ball at the 41 of Chicago. 3 tight ends have come in now for Chicago. Saldi, Moorhead, and Dunsmore on this third and very short. And Green Bay with an extra defensive lineman in their goal line defense. Calvin Thomas and Walter Payton. And Payton breaks through and nearly got loose. A flag down. A fine open field tackle by rookie Tom Flynn out of Pittsburgh. Or Payton might have been in the end zone. But a flag is down on the play, and it may have been an illegal blocking penalty. It's a holding signal against the Bears.
Emory Moorhead was blocking on Murphy on that play, and I'm not going to indict Moorhead because everything happened so fast, but it looked like it was in that area. At any rate, it's going to go over, and the Bears are going to have a longer yardage now for first down.
Holding, penalized, spot on the foul, 10 yards, down remains the same.
What did he say?
I didn't hear a number from Jim Tunney, but they did call holding against the Bears, and I think your indictment might stand up in court because I believe that the flag was thrown almost at Moorhead, who was making his block in the open field on the outside. Third down and 7, and the Packers send in some defensive substitutions. Ezra Johnson, number 90, who is their designated pass rusher, a la Fred Dean of the Niners. Johnson, quite a story with a back injury that just doesn't enable him to play full time, but still their leading sacker. They give it to Payton. Payton trying to find running room, cannot do it. Good defensive reaction by the Packers, led by Mike Douglas, and Ezra Johnson in on it, number 90. A gain of only about 1.5 yards for Payton on the play. It'll bring up fourth down.
And there's Ezra Johnson, as you say, the designated pass rusher. Boy, he's hustling over the other side of the field, isn't he? And he gets in on the tackle. Gives some credit to Estes Hood, too, because he held his ground over there in the corner and forced the play back inside.
Tom Flynn is back to receive Dave Finzer's punt. Finzer standing at his 22, and you see Flynn at the Packer 27. Good kick by Finzer. Fair catch signal by Flynn at his 23-yard line. And so the Packers will have the ball for the second time when we return to Soldier Field. 8:45 to play first quarter, no score.
For the second year in a row, this man has designated this car as the official car of Santa Claus. Introducing the 1985 Toyota Tercel wagon. This year it gives him more performance than ever before. Gets the best gas mileage of any four-wheel drive wagon and shifts from front wheel to four-wheel drive on command. The 1985 Tercel wagon, the official car of Santa Claus.
What a feeling, Toyota.
Those nuggets some hamburger places serve are actually processed chicken.
Excuse me, but what was that in there?
It's chicken.
Chicken?
Processed.
Processed?
That's like when they take a lot of chickens and assemble the respective parts.
What parts?
What parts?
Different parts.
Parts is parts.
Wendy's chicken sandwich is pure boneless breast of chicken. Moist and perfect and not processed.
As I hear tell, all the parts are crammed into one big part.
Fused.
Yeah, then the one big part is cut up into little pieces parts. And parts is parts.
Pure boneless breast of chicken for Wendy's kind of people.
Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris, we are back at Soldier Field in Chicago, where the Green Bay Packers have first down from their 23. Gary Ellis and Eddie Lee Ivory. The running backs, rookie Wright is slammed down, and it's an incomplete pass. Richard Dent, number 95, saying to the official, hey, that was my 15th sack of the year. You're not going to give it to me? The official says no, he was in the throwing motion, as indeed Randy Wright was.
I'd have to agree with it. Randy Wright certainly felt him coming on, but went forward with the motion as Dent got clear on coming from the left of your screen, puts the clamps on, but it looked like the ball was just starting to go forward as he got hit.
So it is 2nd and 10 for Green Bay. Wright has a man open, and it's caught in the open field. Ray Krause, the fullback, number 21, and a Packer first down out at the 48-yard line. First-year man from Nevada, Las Vegas.
And a nice touch by Randy Wright as he put the fake to the other side of the field. He saw Krause get behind Otis Wilson, 55, and the pass was right on the dime. First down, Green Bay. First big play for Randy Wright, who hails from the Chicago area, lives in St. Charles, Illinois. Of course, went to Wisconsin.
Double tight ends are in, Kaufman and Ed West. The give is to Ellis, and he's met behind the line by Otis Wilson, number 55. There'll be a loss of about 2 on the play. And now for an NFL Today report, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Tim, it is 3rd and goal for the Giants against the Cardinals from the 5, and Sims throws that touchdown pass to Manuel, and the Giants lead the Cardinals 7-0. It was a very nice drive. Let's go back to Tim and Johnny.
Well, the Giants in a game, of course, that affects the home field fortunes of the Chicago Bears. We'll be tracking it closely. That exciting NFC race. The Giants get the jump on the Cardinals at St. Louis. Lionel Manuel, the rookie receiver, having a fine year. This is Ivory. Eddie Lee Ivory picking and dancing his way and finally stacked up. But a gain of about 8 yards for Ivory, who went limping off not so long ago. Al Harris finally put the stop on him. They'll spot the ball upfield at about the 46-yard line of the Chicago Bears. And that'll leave 3rd and a long 4 for Green Bay. Well, we see Tampa Bay in front of Atlanta 3-0. And New England still in the playoff hunt. A 3-0 lead over the Eagles. In this key game, Cleveland leading Pittsburgh 3-0. And Seattle in that battle with Denver in the AFC West out in front of Kansas City 7-0. Ellis and Huckleby now the running combination on 3rd and a long 3. A deep drop by Randy Wright. The ball pops up and was nearly intercepted by Hampton. A late flag on the play. Richard Dent got the hit on Wright again. That's twice in this series Dent has been there to ruin the pass effort by Randy Wright. And the ball came down nearly into the hands of Dan Hampton.
Foul. Ball was touched by the defensive man. No foul. 4th down.
Okay, let's take a look at the replay. You're going to see Tim Huffman is 74. He's blocking on Dent. He gets around Huffman, and Dan Hampton leaps up there. The ball hits him on the shoulder pads, and he almost had an interception. So the Bear pass rush, without the benefit of blitzing, is putting a lot of pressure on Wright. They are not blitzing all that much yet. Just the defensive linemen are beating the Packer offensive line.
Bucky Scribner in to punt for Green Bay, standing at his own 40-yard line. Just got it away against a good rush by the Bears. The punt takes a Packer bounce out of bounds at the 14-yard line of the Chicago Bears. So the Bears defense has risen up to stop the Packers once more, and we are still scoreless.
Do you have anything in aviation?
The Army's most technical training
Are there any openings in communications?
is also the Army's most popular training.
I'd really like computers.
So it pays to have a reservation.
Electronics.
If you qualify, you can get a guaranteed reservation for the training you want up to 12 months in advance, even if you're still in high school.
We'll see you after graduation.
That's great.
Thank you. Congratulations.
I'm wanted. What for, Sheriff? I'm just a 49er looking for a little gold.
You'll see. Shave off that beard. Not with good news. Not with Bic.
The Schick disposable beats them both. Schick beats good news for sharpness.
Schick is sharper?
Yep, and Schick beats big for overall performance. And only Schick has this sliding safety cap.
Great shave. Now, why am I wanted?
To take me to the dance tonight, Joe Montana. Try the Schick disposable.
It beats them both.
Why is he giving her a hard time? Why is she giving him a hard time? And what's Bo Derek doing on 60 Minutes? Sunday.
Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris as the Bears start from their own 13-yard line here at Soldier Field. Robert Brown is in for Donnie Humphrey defensively. Number 93 for the Green Bay Packers. The give is to Suey. Suey just got away from a diving Cumbie and turns it upfield for a gain of about 8 yards. Randy Scott forced him out. George Cumbie, number 52, nearly had Suey in the backfield.
And the old inside handoff, and I believe it was Keith Van Horn, 78, coming across. See 52 charging across the line of scrimmage. There is Keith Van Horn with the block to cut off his pursuit, and Suey was able to get to the outside, and he got a couple of other good blocks there and boosted to the outside as the Bears gained 9 yards on first down.
Boy, you're asking your big tackle to move pretty quickly to get over and make that block.
Pulling right tackle, blocking over the guard spot on the left side.
2nd and 1, Chicago from the 22-yard line. First down for Walter Payton over the 30 of Chicago. Stopped in the secondary by Flynn and Murphy, the safeties. And we have got some kind of a basketball game for you next Saturday on CBS. Look at this, an early season matchup between the top 2 ranked teams. DePaul with a victory over Notre Dame yesterday, Georgetown walloping UNLV, and they meet in a head-on collision live at 3:45, 2:45 Central Time next Saturday here on CBS. And we want to change a score we had earlier. Kansas City is in front of the Seahawks 7-0 in the first period. We'll be watching that one closely. Seattle very much a playoff contender. Suey with a flag down picks up about 3. The Seahawks and Denver, of course, are both in. But who wins that AFC West is up for grabs, and the Chiefs are getting the jump on Seattle this afternoon. Mike Ditka with the offense in his hand. And you can see Greg Landry is fellow without the helmet.
First down, 15.
Somebody illegally in motion for the Bears. It'll be 1st and 15, and the ball spotted at the 25-yard line. Forrest Gregg, in his rookie season as a coach with the Packers, happy to be back where he was a member of those great Packer teams. 6-8 in his first year. The Packers won 5 of their last 6 games after a dismal start. Walter Payton breaks tackles. Payton over the 40-yard line for another Chicago first down. And it is Tim Lewis and Mark Murphy who combined to pull him down, but Payton broke 2 or 3 tackles just over the line of scrimmage.
How he got through this hole, I'll never know. He got a good block there and lead block by 26, Matt Suey. See the block on Cumbie? Then it was Robert Brown, I believe, and Anderson have both had hands on him there, and Payton just broke the tackle. And finally, Tim Lewis gets a hold of him and says, hey, you're not going any further. He is tough to bring down, and the thing is, he is so agile and can get away from you. It forces players to be a little bit tentative in tackling, so they reach a lot, and then he gets away from that because they're afraid to make the dives or the regular standard tackle because he gets away so much.
Up to 50 yards already. They fake the draw to Payton. Lish has lots of time, and then his pass too high for Payton, who was the release man on the play. And Lish, looking downfield when he came back to Payton, appeared to be a little anxious trying to get the ball to him. Excellent protection by the Bears' offensive line on the play. Packers' pass rush much improved from a year ago, but not where Forrest Gregg would like to have it yet. 2 rookies, Donnie Humphrey out of Auburn and Alfonso Carricker out of Florida State, improving game by game. And then on the obvious passing downs, they'll get Ezra Johnson in there. 2nd and 10. Bears have been passing frequently on first down so far. No score in the game. 4:36 to play first quarter. Complete to Moorhead for a gain of only about 4. The tight end, number 87, well covered and hit immediately by Mark Murphy. So there was only about a 4-yard pickup. It will lead 3rd and 6.
Interesting. That's an old play that the Bears used to have where the Y-man or your tight end goes down about 3 yards and then goes on an angle towards the sideline. That was Mike Ditka's play. He must have caught 100 passes in his career on that same play, so obviously he would have that in the Bears' repertoire of plays, but he used to break the tackles.
3rd down, and it'll be 5 yards to go. Ezra Johnson is in the lineup again on the 3rd down play. The pass is complete to Suhey. Matt Suhey has a Bear 1st down in Packer territory at the 45, and a little rough and tumble going on back near the line of scrimmage. Quite a pileup of Packers and Bears. And Johnny, you know, we were talking earlier about how this old rivalry, which has had a tooth and nail atmosphere since 1921, did not seem to have the same fire for this game, perhaps because the Packers are only at 6 and 8 and the Bears are clinched, but looks like they're playing it seriously out there now.
It does now. Interesting, over there, Charles Martin and Walter Payton went off about 20 yards away from the pileup over there and were just chatting while everybody else was fighting over there.
I'd say that was probably a wise decision on Walter Payton's part. He's outweighed by about 75 pounds. Well, the Redskins and the Cowboys will be coming up next here on CBS, and that certainly will be not only an important game, but will match 2 old rivals there. You won't see that game in the Chicago area. This is for Galt, overthrown. Rusty Lish trying to get it to Willie Galt deep in the corner.
It looked like Willie Galt thought maybe that pass wasn't going to come to him because he kind of slowed up once he went into his speed there. And as you know, he has plenty of speed, and then he kind of cruised, and if he had kept going, he might have had a better shot at it. Willie Galt, who doesn't catch a lot of passes for the Chicago Bears, but he catches generally a touchdown or 2 every other game or so, and he's a threat out there and helped to dictate a defense because of his tremendous speed.
Lish is now 3 of 7. 18 yards in the passing department. 2nd and 10. No score in the game. 3:31 remaining. First period, ball at the Packer 45. Blitz, draw play, Suhey. Good defensive play by Terry Jones. Jones, the nose tackle, 63, stayed right at home, saw the draw play, and just stayed right with Matt Suhey.
And the key was George Cumby blitzing through. I hope you get a chance to see 52 blitzing through to mess up the blocking. There he is, right there, and that allows a little gap there for Terry Jones, who came off of that blitz and messed up the play for the Chicago Bears, and a good play for the Green Bay Packers. The Bears in a long passing situation on 3rd down.
3rd and 14. The ball backed up now to the 49-yard line of Green Bay. Lish goes to the shotgun. Bears in a slot formation right. Drop ball by Lish. It's still loose and recovered by Green Bay. Mike Douglas came up with a loose ball as Lish dropped the pass from center from Jay Hilgenberg. And Green Bay takes over in Bear territory at the 46-yard line.
Okay, you'll get another look. As you can see, he was looked like he was getting ready to run and took his eyes off the ball. And watch Douglas. He reaches out with one hand here and says, "Get that ball underneath there," and he got it there just in time. Green Bay with the turnover.
Now the rookie Randy Wright playing for the injured Lynn Dickey, as we see Douglas on the bench having come up with a fumble. Wright from Wisconsin, the number 5 choice this year, moved ahead of Rich Campbell as the number 2 man in training camp. Gives it to Ivory, and Ivory is stacked up by the aggressive Bear defense out the left side. And it was Dan Hampton and Otis Wilson in Singletary, all 3 of them there.
Now, you mentioned a whole bunch of names, and that's what happened is Dan Hampton, playing with a hyperextended elbow, a bad knee, gets across the line of scrimmage, goes down the line, and as the back comes back, as Ivory came back, he had a host of dark jerseys, didn't he?
Boy, he sure did, Drew.
Everybody gets a quarter of a tackle on that one.
2nd and 10, no gain on the play. Play action, Wright trying to find a man open. That was a broken play, I am certain. It started out looking like play action. However, the receivers were not downfield immediately. Something went wrong there.
I believe the receivers missed the audible. I think Randy Wright changed the play at the line of scrimmage. As you can see, Wright getting instructions for the next play. He told us yesterday, he said, if I do play at that time, it was questionable as to whether Dickey or Randy Wright would play. He said, against a defense like the Bears, he says, you got to call audibles. I'm a rookie, but I'm not afraid to call them, and I'm not afraid to stand in the pocket. He was very confident of himself,
yes,
and you have to like that.
Yes, he was. Had a terrific attitude. 3rd and 9. Came in early in the game against the Raiders. Came in a role against Detroit on Thanksgiving Day. Gary Ellis gets away from Dent, and now is dropped for an even larger loss. Dan Hampton. All the way back to the 42 of Green Bay.
I think they were anticipating the blitz there, and we're going to try and sneak through on the draw. Now, Dent has a hold of him. In this case, he'd have been better off just to go down, wouldn't he? But no, as a natural instinct, if you can get away, you try and run, but it ended up costing a few more yards as Hampton gets in to make the final tackle.
4th down with the ball at the line of scrimmage at the 44-yard line of the Packers. Bucky Scribner, number 2 punter in the conference, stands inside his 30. Jeff Fisher waits for it at the Bear 20. Again, a near block and a flag down. Fisher stopped at the 20-yard line. A flag down, and the Bears will probably be called for running into the kicker. Dan Raines, number 53, had a strong rush in an attempt to block it. So hard for these guys to make the rush, try to make the big play blocking the punt, and prevent themselves from contacting the kicker if they miss the ball. Well, it's a heavy penalty.
It depends on the angle you take. So he kind of went right where the kicker was, rather than going 2 or 3 yards in front of the kicker. So his angle was off. As the Bears now twice in a row have put a 10-man rush. They almost got through the last time.
Personal foul, running in the kicker, 5 yards, 1st down.
Well, they gave him the 5-yard penalty, the running into, instead of the more serious roughing the kicker.
5 yards, 1st down.
You saw Dan Raines with the diving attempt to block the kick, and I still think that it's an awfully tough rule on a special teams player whose job is to try and make that big play. For the Green Bay Packers, it works out well. 1st down from their own 49-yard line. They have good field position here. Pitch shot, reverse. It's James Lofton. A block by the quarterback, and Lofton, with a blocker in front of him, gets down to the 31-yard line of Chicago. Well-executed reverse, and the speedy James Lofton takes it upfield.
They took advantage of Henry Wachter, who is playing his first game for the Bears. He hadn't been active. You see number 70 gets caught here. He'll get caught, and as he tries to react, there's going to be a big block coming up against Wachter, and he gets around the horn, and I believe it was the quarterback, Randy White, and here comes another block by number 70, Euchre, who throws a key block, and a block down the field by everybody. Also the center.
19-yard pickup.
Blake Moore got down the field.
Excellent execution by the Packers. Gary Ellis on 1st down picks up 4 inside the 30 to the 28. Mike Singletary makes the tackle for the Bears, and so the Packers threatening now with 37 seconds remaining in the 1st quarter. And the ball at the 29-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 7 for Green Bay. Miami and Indianapolis are tied up at 7. The Colts took the early lead in that game. Tampa Bay in front of Atlanta 3-0 in the 2nd period. 2nd down. Green Bay. The give is to Ray Krause. He is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Otis Wilson was there, and Mike Singletary, number 50, and at the bottom of the stack, number 95, Richard Dent. No gain on the play. The Packers will be 3rd down and 7 when we return to Soldier Field to begin the 2nd period. With the score 0-0.
Over the years, a lot of small businesses have developed their own systems of communicating.
Yes, sir. Eric, Dr.
But now there's a better way. Meet the Merlin system from AT&T. Merlin's a telephone, an intercom, a conference caller, and has dozens of features you can select.
Anderson.
So Merlin can grow as your small business grows. Call about Merlin. AT&T Information Systems, when you've got to be right.
Men never cease to amaze me. Some guys don't think twice about the cologne they use. But a cologne says a lot about a man. And I think the cologne that says it best is English leather. English leather has a clean, masculine scent. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, a man should wear English leather, or nothing at all. Look, I don't fall for a guy just because he wears a nice cologne. But I know what I like. And I like a man to wear English leather, or wear nothing at all.
There'll be 50,000 people here tomorrow. The Office Automation Expo.
This company is big in computers.
They're just announcing their first system. But one company has it all right now. Professional workstations, electronic printers, file servers, and they can all work together. They've already installed more than 800 networks worldwide. What puts this company ahead of the others? Teamwork.
Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris as we begin the second quarter here at Soldier Field. Sun's gone in a little bit, but it's still very mild for this time of year. And the Packers blitz on third down. The pass intended for Kaufman is incomplete. As the Bears came with the blitz, Richardson had the coverage on the tight end Kaufman, and the rookie Randy Wright couldn't get the ball to him. And so fourth down comes up, and onto the field comes Al Del Greco. As we see the first down stats favoring the Chicago Bears in the first down department and in total yards, but the passing stat -2 for the first period. Time of possession, something the Bears have had the best of all season long in every game against every opponent. This field goal try from the 37-yard line, Del Greco, Scribner holding, and it is no good. Del Greco missing the 37-yard field goal try. He was 8 of 10 coming into the game, with a 42-yarder as his longest effort of the year. Of course, he replaced Garcia, who's on injured reserve. Garcia did not get off to a good start after he had displaced Jan Stenerud.
The ball is up there, and it was very close, but it looked like it just drifted off to the right. And no good, and Forrest Gregg will quickly say that when he let Jan Stenerud go, that was a mistake. Is that an understatement, the kind of year he's having?
Well, Stenerud just happened to go on and have such a stellar year with Minnesota. In fact, I guess he's been the only highlight for Vikings fans, the way things have gone this year for Minnesota.
Well, this Packer team has really been up and down. You lose 7 in a row, boy, it's pretty easy to pack it in, and they've now won 5 of the last 6 games. They had that one bad game on Thanksgiving, but came back in the second half to beat Tampa Bay last week.
27-14, 14-0 down. This is Walter Payton, and Payton has a first down. Dancing his way out of bounds just over the marker at the 39-yard line of Chicago. John Anderson steering him out, the linebacker number 59.
Well, you can see the Bears string it out. They're number 1 in the league in rushing, and one of the reasons is Payton. He has such good eyes. He watches the blocking, just goes with it, and you'll see Mark Lee here with the attempted tackle. Payton just gets away from that and dips out of bounds, gets 10 yards, first down, and Walter Payton's starting to pile up the yards. He has 60 yards already. We're in the second quarter, early in the second quarter.
First down, Chicago. At their 39, out of the I formation now. The pitch out to Payton again, trying to come back to the middle. This time the Pack shuts it down. Looked like he started outside and saw that there was no room to travel there. Brought it back inside where Robert Brown, number 93, and the linebacker Randy Scott, 55, put the stop on him, and it'll be a loss of about a half yard. Well, here's an important game for the New England Patriots. They can clinch a wild card by winning their remaining 2 games if the Raiders lose 2, and so they've really got to keep their own hopes alive and hope for good things elsewhere. Another key matchup in the AFC, Pittsburgh leading Cleveland 7-3. Second and 11 for the Bears. The pass intended for Moorhead, and he made a one-handed catch on that play, and Murphy drove him out of bounds. Looked like Moorhead had to reach back and just haul that in with one paw, and pickup of about 4.
That's that same play, the Y right towards the sidelines, and you talk about concentration. He did concentrate on the ball, took the hit from Mark Murphy, you're going to catch a ball around him, you're going to earn it.
Moorhead dropped a couple in the lights at San Diego last Monday night on passes from Rusty Lish. As the tight ends have a few problems. Dunsmore dropped a couple as well. Third down, and we'll call it 6. Lish from the shotgun. Intended almost a tip to Dunsmore. The intended receiver, Calvin Thomas, couldn't haul in the high pass, but it nearly went to Dunsmore on the tip, but that brings up 4th down.
John Anderson on the coverage, and Anderson was where he was supposed to be, covering that back, and the ball was up a little high, and you could see Dunsmore almost making the grab, but it's going to be 4th down for the Bears. Dave Finzer punting.
Festus Hood with a coverage on Dunsmore on the play. Finzer standing at his 28-yard line. The deep man is Tom Flynn inside the 20 of Green Bay. Oh, kick, dandy by Finzer. Backs up Flynn, comes down at the 10, and then Flynn fields it on the 1 and gets to the 15, then dropped the ball. But it is Green Bay possession. The ball came loose, the Bears recovered, but it is Green Bay possession. Well, the rookie Tom Flynn from Pittsburgh made an unusual decision there. He made the classic one where if the ball's near the 10, you let it bounce and hope it goes in for a touchback. Then when the ball bounced upfield, he suddenly picked it up, gained himself 5 yards, and fortunately for Flynn, retained possession despite the loose ball.
That's what you call playing with danger, but actually it was a pretty heads-up play, and I believe the fumble was when he made contact with the ground. I don't think he fumbled before he hit the ground. We'll have to see. The ball was bounced loose when he hit the ground. Also, the whistle had blown, so the call was correct.
So Green Bay will have 1st down from their 15 when we return to Soldier Field, still scoreless, early 2nd quarter.
Oh no, I dropped it. It's broken. Can't somebody make a flashlight that'll work when you need it?
Duracell did. Durabeam, a flashlight that really works when you need it. Durabeam's casing is as tough as a football helmet. The lens is shatterproof. It'll throw a light 50% brighter than ordinary flashlights. And obviously, it's weatherproof. Ask him how important that is. Durabeam from Duracell. The gift that really works when you need it.
Some make greatness look simple, like superstar Larry Bird and the Canon T70. Covering Bird with the simplicity of touch button controls, countering his quickness with automatic film advance. Capturing any shot with the versatility of 3 program modes, the Canon T70. And it's so simple.
Watch the bird.
The Canon T70, it makes the great shots simple.
At Soldier Field, Randy Wright, the rookie quarterback, to give to Ivory, and Ivory picks up about 2 over the 15-yard line. A flag down on the play. Dan Hampton made the tackle. Yeah, the preliminary signal against the Packers for illegal motion. Hampton did not practice all week. In fact, Mike Ditka did not expect him to play. But I saw him in the parking lot at practice on Friday. He was out of uniform, hadn't been out on the field at all. I said, I guess you're out. He said, no, I'm in. I'll play. And there he is. He is some tough guy. As Johnny mentioned, elbow and knee problem.
Decline. 2nd down.
Bears decline the penalty, and it will leave a 2nd down and 8 to go for Green Bay. The ball at their 16-yard line. Randy Wright practiced all week for the Packers as Lynn Dickey, bothered by headaches, could not get time in. Dickey tried in the warm-up today, and he is in pain.
46 defense.
Wright is the rookie quarterback today. This is Gary Ellis, and Ellis bulls his way for about 4 more yards. It'll leave a 3rd and 3. Let's go to New York and Brent Musburger for an update.
Tim, the Cardinals have tied the Giants at 7. This halfback play from Stump Mitchell to Earl Farrell, this set up their touchdown. Lomax then threw a pass to Tilley, and that was Lomax's 24th touchdown of the year, so it's deadlocked at 7. Back to Tim.
Well, if the Giants can win that game and win next week, then they have clinched the NFC East. The Cardinals need to win their 2 games and hope Dallas loses once, so the significance of that one not lost on anybody. The pass intended for Kaufman, incomplete. Again, a good rush on the rookie, Randy Wright, and forcing him to throw the ball a little earlier than he wanted to, off the mark. So 4th down for Green Bay as Randy Wright, the rookie from Wisconsin, having difficulty moving the ball. Indianapolis now in front of the Dolphins 10-7 amidst talk that Cush will jump to the USFL.
And Seattle, Kansas City now tied 7-7 in the second quarter.
Dave Duerson is the receiver awaiting the punt back at the Bear 38-yard line. Bucky Scribner standing at his own 7 will hit it from the 12. Duerson, not often used in this role, takes the ball at the 35 and is dropped quickly at the 39-yard line of Chicago by Rich Wingo, the reserve linebacker number 50. So Chicago will have the football. We're still scoreless.
If you run a small business, profits can get squeezed when inventory doesn't match up with production. What you need is a tool for modern times, the IBM personal computer. Not only can it help you plan ahead, it'll balance your books and give you more time to make dough. And the cost? That's the icing on the cake. Your own IBM personal computer. Try it at a store near you.
Hope we're going to a New Year's Eve party.
I'd prefer an office party.
I want to go to a school Christmas party.
McDonald's Chicken McNuggets 20-pack, the life of any holiday party.
How do I look?
Delicious.
Golden brown is your color.
Whoopee! Let's go to a sleigh ride party.
It's a good time for the great taste
Parties, parties. That's all you 20-packs ever think of.
of McDonald's.
Time for McDonald's gift certificates. 50 cents each or a book of 10 for $5.
Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris back in Chicago. Bill Neal, number 77, the 4-year man from Pittsburgh, has come in defensively for Green Bay, replacing Terry Jones in their alternating quarter roles. Field on the nose. This is Walter Payton on 1st down, and good work by the Green Bay defense. Tim Lewis stringing it out wide, giving Payton nowhere to go except out of bounds. And Payton danced for about a 3, maybe 4-yard pickup.
Good play by Tim Lewis. Gets up there, makes a tackle. Of course, he's done well on interceptions. He has 7. You know, he had 3 last week, and 2 were called back because of penalties. That's gotta frost you, right?
I would say so. And yet, he has 7 on the season, which is tied for the lead in the NFC. 2nd-year man out of Pittsburgh. And with the rookie from Pittsburgh at safety, Tom Flynn, with 6, Forrest Gregg feels very secure about the future of the secondary. Mitch Crank and Pat Dunsmore, 2 tight ends, are in on 2nd. And along 6, this is Payton, and Payton gets close to the 1st down marker. It'll be 3rd down and about a yard to go.
Good tackle by Michael Douglas, yes.
Next Saturday, we'll have NFL action on CBS Sports, starting with the NFL Today, a feature on Phil Simms, the quarterback of the New York Giants, who's having a brilliant year coming back from injuries. That's at 12 o'clock Central Time. And as you know, this time of year, you get to see NFL football on Saturday afternoon, and the game will be the New Orleans Saints against the New York Giants. And that, of course, is still a significant one in that logjam NFC East. The Giants, if they can win next weekend, today will clinch it. This is Payton trying for 1st down, and he is stacked up by the center of that Packer line. Everybody trying to steal the ball. Payton holds on to it, but did he get the 1st down is the question.
Well, it sure took him a long time to blow the whistle on that play, didn't it? It was interminable. Usually the officials don't wait that long. He was scrambling, had been stopped, but kept going and kept going. I bet there was a 3-second lapse there while Walter was treading water. Let's take a look at the replay. As you can see, a whole bunch of Packers there stop him. Now he just kept, now looked like he was stopped there. They did not blow the whistle yet, and he kept going and kept going. If I was the Packers, I'd have to complain about that, actually.
It is just short where they have marked the ball, and you saw a fine effort by rookie Donnie Humphrey of Auburn and the noseman Bill Neal. And on 4th down, they'll go for it. The ball is at their own 49-yard line. 4th and about 4 inches. 11:01 to play here in the 1st half and no score. Mike Ditka says the Bears are going to go. Big Rusty Lish, 6'4", 215, might be the candidate here.
Yes, it might be the quarterback sneak.
What a play caller. To midfield. Lish gets the first down.
You should be down on the sidelines calling the plays.
Well, when you got a big quarterback like that, I don't think it takes a genius to make that call.
Especially when Peyton was on the wing.
That's right. Yeah. he got the first down just short of midfield. Not by much, I might add. By about a half a yard at the most. Now there is Jim McMahon, looks like a stockbroker on the sidelines with that camel hair coat, and would much rather be out on the field. And a little word of encouragement for Lish, saying, way to run, Rusty. By the way, McMahon is going to be our guest at halftime. We'll get his perspective on the Bears' chances here for the remainder of the NFL season, and of course the playoff.
Of course, he is out for the entire season with that kidney laceration.
First down at midfield for Chicago. Peyton straight ahead, picks up 5 to the 45-yard line. Running behind the center, Hilgenberg, and Kurt Becker, the right guard. Donnie Humphrey, number 79, and Mark Murphy, the hard-hitting safety man. Number 37 came up to make the stop. 2nd and 5. Well, the Bears have got 2 quarterbacks down. You see the man in blue, in the blue coat there in the middle of your screen, is Steve Fuller, the number 2 quarterback, who suffered his second shoulder separation of the season last Monday night against San Diego. Bears expect to have him back for the playoff game on the weekend of the 29th and 30th. This is Peyton getting to the 40-yard line and puts the ball down for a first down. If the officials agree, the Bears will have first down just outside the 40 of Green Bay.
It's going to be a little bit short, I believe.
Randy Scott made the tackle for the Packers. They'll have to measure again.
Walter Payton now over 13,000 yards for his career, and he's signaling for something in there. Can you? I couldn't make out what he was asking for unless it was a
piece of equipment, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, they've brought out something to him on the field. 77 yards rushing for Peyton, and it looks like it is another Bear first down. At the 41-yard line of Green Bay,
those
Bears
people
on a march.
Those people there really don't need those coats. It must be up over 50 degrees now, and that's warm for, what's the date? December
the 9th. It's not just warm, it's unbelievable. I saw a weather map shot, one of those national weather map shots where they showed the jet stream up at 30,000 feet that affects the weather, and it was an unusual looking thing to see. This is certainly something rare, Chicago in December. On first down, Peyton stopped inside the 35 by Tom Flynn, the Pittsburgh rookie. Nearly a miscue on the handoff from Lish, and Peyton with a good recovery to hold on.
Michael Douglas, 52, shot through from his side of the field there and almost made the tackle. There's 53 coming through. He got his hands on Peyton, but Peyton broke the tackle, and Tom Flynn was lucky to hang on here. He got him by the ankle and brought him down, and Tim Lewis assisted on the tackle, but the Bears are really grinding it out, and it's mostly Walter Payton.
2nd and 3 with Peyton as the lone setback. Pitch shot to Peyton. Takes it off, tackle right, has the first down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Tripped up by Cumbie. Downfield, a little extracurricular activity. Mark Lee, I believe, into it with one of the Bear blockers downfield.
Boy, they're going at it.
Flags come up, as you might expect. And Mark Lee, while he may have exercised poor judgment, sure showed plenty of guts. Keith Van Horn weighs 270. Mark Lee goes at 190. Even in the American Wrestling Federation, they wouldn't allow that matchup.
Well, see, by the time everybody was watching what was going on, then it was Mark Lee who became the violator. I'm sure that Keith Van Horn did his share, but it was before everybody caught on to what was going on, and so the Packers are going to be the team to suffer out of this situation.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 22 off the distance of the goal line. First down.
Unnecessary roughness charged against Mark Lee. And Forrest Gregg says to himself, I'm sure, well, I can understand that penalty, but they ought to cut it in half just based on the physical difference in size. Well, so Mark Lee, however, has hurt his club here. He's got the Bears with a first down at the 15-yard line on a half-the-distance penalty. So the first real scoring opportunity for a touchdown by either team today. Lish on first down, has lots of time, gets it off to Suey. Suey inside the 10. 3 Packers put the hit on him, led by Murphy. And 2 linebackers, Scott and Anderson.
Good play by Lish because he was looking for the receiver downfield who was his primary target. Well, Matt Suey is the alternate receiver out there, the secondary receiver, and Lish just looked down the field, saw everybody covered, and hit Suey out in the flat. And Anderson and Mark Lee in on the tackle, but not before they got a few yards out of it. At a second and about 4.
At the 9-yard line, Mark Bortz has come out with an injury. Rob Fada is in for the Bears, number 64 at left guard. Suey in motion, pitch to Dennis Gentry. Gentry gets to the 6-yard line, driven out of bounds there. Initial contact from Scott and Cumbie, number 52.
Good blocking by Dunsmore and Matt Suey out front as Gentry was able to get outside and have some room, as Dunsmore seems to be a little bit hurt there, sprained ankle or something along that line. But no question about it, the Bear offensive line is punching some holes in that Packer defense.
Mark Bortz being attended to on the Bears bench with Fada in to replace him. Injuries continue to become a problem for the Bears at exactly the wrong time of the season. You saw Dunsmore come limping off. Brad Anderson goes wide right. It is 3rd down and 2. The ball at the 7-yard line of Green Bay. Payton dives trying to get the first down, and he has it inside the 5 of the Packers. It'll be 1st and goal, Chicago. 7:07 to play in the first half. No score. Underneath the stack, number 79, Donnie Humphrey, the Auburn rookie, making the first contact as Payton went over the top. They spot the ball just inside the 5, and they're going to measure. It appeared to me that he had the first down. I had already awarded it to Chicago, and when they spotted the ball, it came down closer to the 5-yard line.
If it's not, I have an idea they'll go for it anyway.
You gambler, you. And it is a first down. 1st and goal. Bortz returns to the Bears offensive line.
And he is just, as everybody knows, a sensational athlete because right here it's blocked up, so he just got up and was able to get over the pile, and he flew for a couple of yards.
4 new defenders come in for Green Bay.
There's the first player to carry 3,000 times in a career, Walter Payton.
1st and goal. Loose ball. Packers have recovered. Matt Suey fumbled the ball. George Cumbie grabbed it for Green Bay. So the Packers come up big inside their 5-yard line, stopping the Bears' first scoring drive of the day.
You can't hand off to Payton every play. This time with action, Payton one way. You see Jay Salty, 81, leading for Matt Suey. He never really got the handoff. The ball was up a little high at his chest. He tried to scoop it in, lost the ball, and the Packers come up with a big recovery. They stop the Bear drive.
We are still scoreless. 6:34 to play, first half.
Introducing the first affordable German road car, the new Volkswagen Jetta. No one can demonstrate its exhilarating performance. No one can fully show you its exceptional handling ability. No one can accurately describe its roominess. The new Jetta. To really appreciate it, you have to experience it yourself. Jetta. It's not a car, it's a Volkswagen.
We know what it's like in business.
Wilson, it's your boss. Get to Omaha.
It's Saturday.
Get to Omaha. Wilson, it's your boss. Get to Omaha.
It's my birthday.
Happy birthday. Get to Omaha.
Thank you. Republic Airlines thinks you deserve
perks.
Perks? Your own section, business first.
Up front.
With wide first-class seats and a lot of other perks. Only on Republic. Perks.
We make you feel like flying.
Monday, personal differences erupt.
You're hooked on Dory McKenna, same as he is on drugs.
Professional demands clash. The line is drawn for Cagney and Lacey.
You get yourself another partner, baby.
Well, let's see what happened here again, Johnny. Lish to Suey. Suey never got possession of the ball.
Now, the handoff was kind of up. Well, he should have hung on to the ball, actually. Actually, should have hung on to the ball. They just never really connected, and the Packers have it deep in their own territory.
First down for Green Bay from the 3-yard line. Eddie Lee Ivory is stopped after a gain of 1. Number 40, Eddie Lee Ivory from Georgia Tech. 6:25 to go first half. No score in this game. And we see the St. Louis Cardinals have moved ahead of the Giants 14-7. That NFC East battle with a later one coming. Tampa Bay in front of Atlanta 10-3. And New England and Philadelphia tied up at 10. Pittsburgh in front of Cleveland 10-6. Kansas City doing a number on Seattle in the second quarter. Second down and 8. Eddie Lee Ivory and met by Hampton at the 5-yard line. Thrown back with help from Dent. And it'll be third down and about 7. Let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Tim, here is that second Cardinal touchdown. Roy Green and Tilley, they take the secondary deep. Lomax comes underneath now to stump Mitchell. Lomax's 25th touchdown pass of the season, 44 yards. Cardinals up by 7, back to 10.
All right, Brent, it is third down and 5 from the 6-yard line of Green Bay. In motion, the tight end Kaufman. Right rolling to his left. Now takes off. Trying to get to the first down is short. Stopped just over the 10. A flag down on the play, however. Al Harris and Mike Singletary made the tackle. And it looks like the penalty will be against the Packers.
Now the decision is to let the Packers have a fourth down situation at their own 10 or put them back on about the 2 with third down and put them really backed up in their own end zone. I think I'd have to let them stay at the 10 and force them to punt from there, wouldn't you? Because you never know what somebody may come up with.
Yes, I would support that view. We'll make them punt the ball. You're going to get the ball good field
Holding,
position.
70, declined, fourth down.
So the Bears decline, and it'll be Jeff Fisher standing at midfield inside Packer territory. Bucky Scribner will be punting from his end zone. Scribner averaging 42.4 yards a punt. He's been a busy punter, 77 so far coming into the game.
He kicked some line drives, though, and the Packers aren't going to be able to get out of the blocks too quickly because they're at their own 10.
Flags are down as Calvin Thomas, trying to get in there in a hurry, may have made that first contact. Let's see whether he was drawn or not. No, it is against the Bears.
Encroachment, 33, 5 yards. We'll make it a first down.
So the Packers get a first down without having to do anything.
I think Calvin Thomas is going to get chewed out on the sidelines when he gets over there because that's a no-no. When they're punting to you, you don't go off sides. Yeah, there's Rivera, Ron Rivera trying to pull Calvin Thomas back and say, don't go off sides, make him kick the ball. And there is Mike Ditka, the mild-mannered head coach of the Chicago Bears. And there is the special teams coach.
First down, Green Bay. The ball at their 15-yard line. Right on first down to Kaufman. Kaufman tripped up by Fensick, still going, hauled down by Sean Gale. And Randy Wright, right on the money there, the rookie, to the veteran tight end Kaufman. And the Packers get themselves smartly out to the 37, maybe 38-yard line.
Good blocking as Kaufman's wide open as the Packers held the Bears out on the pass rush that time, and he almost gets by Gary Fensick, but Paul Kaufman is always the guy who comes up with a big play to ignite the Packers. It seems like it's always his duty, and he does it at some time or other throughout the game, and he didn't play against the Bears in the first game this year when they played early in the season.
First down, Green Bay. 4:27 remaining. Right for Lofton, complete. out of bounds in Bears territory at the 45-yard line. Another Packer first down on consecutive completions by the rookie from Wisconsin, Randy Wright.
Well, you had to wonder when they were going to send James Lofton after Sean Gale, after Gale was beaten a couple of times against the Chargers. There is just a down the field and then dip to the outside. Not the world's greatest move, but he had so much room. Sean was playing him off so far that you don't have to make your move so great.
Lofton averages 22.6 a carry. That's a catch, rather. That's number 1 in the NFC. 55 catches coming into the game. First down pass right, going deep for Lofton. And it's just overthrown with Sean Gale, the cornerback, who has been expecting that play since this game began. Talking with Sean Gale, he said, I know they're going to throw at me. I'm the rookie there out there for Leslie Frazier, and he's had a lot of good receivers going after him when he's been in there as a Bear cornerback, including Bobby Duckworth for the San Diego Chargers last Monday night. So he was expecting to have Lofton and Epps try him out.
Yeah. You know, Lofton didn't catch a pass last week, and I think the most impressive thing about that play was that was a heck of a throw. He threw that about 55 yards in the air and came within about a foot of being on the mark.
Wright is 3 of 9. Second down, play action. Sideliner complete to Kaufman. Paul Kaufman, and Wright took quite a rap after he got the ball off and gets up limping. Richard Dent is also limping toward the Bears sideline.
Boy, looks like he might have hit his knee. Otis Wilson thought he had a sure interception, but the ball had more height on it, and Kaufman made a super catch. Now watch 55. He's coming right in there. He thought he had the interception, but the ball was up and over him, and Kaufman made the grab. Super catch, and the ball was just high enough. Otis Wilson could not believe it, as that's 3 out of 4 receptions or completions for Randy Wright. He's limping badly.
Randy Wright and Richard Dent were both hurt in that collision. This is Ellis with a good haul. Gary Ellis breaks the tackle and picks up about 9 to the Bear 25-yard line. Randy Wright limping around out there. Dent came off to the Bears bench, and Tyrone Keys is in to replace him. Yeah, the Bears defensive squad, ranked number 1 in the NFL, continues to get banged and battered. They've got a man, Henry Wachter, starting, who hasn't played for them in 2 seasons. And we see Rich Campbell now warming up on the Packers sideline because Randy Wright is playing with a limp. 2nd and 2, the Packers driving right down the field. And Wright fell down with the ball. His leg gave out from under him. So Randy Wright, hurt on the play, couldn't even make the handoff. The plucky young rookie from Wisconsin, no doubt, is going to come out of there now, and we are likely to see Rich Campbell, the number 1 choice in 1981, who lost his backup role to Wright in the preseason this year.
Boy, that's a shame. I think in retrospect, the last 2 or 3 plays, this guy showed a lot of guts here, because it looks like it is the knee, and it could be cartilage or ligaments or who knows what. I mean, it just caved in on him. Randy Wright.
Well, we'll be back at Soldier Field as they attend to Wright. The score, the Bears nothing and Green Bay nothing.
Recently, 2 American travelers dined at the Paris home of the famous chef, Anne Willen. The hostess, who founded Paris's La Varenne cooking school, served a special Chablis that had won first prize in a prestigious competition. The guests were complimentary. And when asked where the award-winning Chablis might be purchased,
And do you know where?
the chef replied,
Why, I should think just about any way you like.
Chablis Blanc, from Ernest and Giulio Gallo. All the best.
We've got what it takes, true value.
Save now on their tool value of the month. In December, it's a Master Mechanic electric glue gun for just $9.99 with trigger control and stay cool handle. Use it to bond wood, leather, and most non-porous materials in 60 seconds. Get this Master Mechanic glue gun for only $9.99. Just look for the December True Value of the Month banner at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Tim Ryan with Johnny Morris, and we're watching young Randy Wright being attended to on the field. And what an unfortunate thing for this youngster, getting a start today because of the injury to Lynn Dickey and will see the knee collapse under him here. And talking with this young guy yesterday, so impressed with his attitude toward his start, the confidence he showed, and what a story he's had. Look at that. Just the leg just gave out. He plans other things in his life, looking beyond football. Very intelligent young man who hopes for a career in the FBI. He's also going to work on his private pilot's license. Actually was recruited by Notre Dame and was told by the then coach Dan Devine he wasn't good enough.
That's right. He said that after his freshman year, you ought to try and go somewhere else. Well, he did. He went up to Wisconsin and proved himself up there, and then became the first Packer player out of the state of Wisconsin to be 21 years.
It's hard to believe, isn't it? For the Green Bay Packers. And look at that.
Oh, boy. He's got the pressure cast on.
Yeah. And so they will assist him off. And Forrest Gregg has high hopes for this young man, Randy Wright. He thinks he's an outstanding prospect. Well, Lynn Dickey, of course, not starting today because there's a Dickey without the helmet standing right in the center of your screen. He will not come in. It'll be Rich Campbell who will get the call now. Dickey bothered by severe headaches. Talking to Lynn yesterday, he had dark glasses on and said, you know, the sun was hurting his eyes. Any kind of light. The headache pain was so severe from the treatments involving the back spasms. So
it has been a bad year in the NFL for quarterbacks.
Yes, it sure has.
I could name 20 quarterbacks that have gone down probably in the last few weeks.
Campbell's only been in one game so far, as we see Wright going to the Packer bench with the trainers and doctors. That was back in September. And Rich Campbell, a 4-year man from California, is now the man. Pitch out to Ellis. He's going to throw. Intended for the tight end West, but incomplete. Gary Ellis trying to get the ball to rookie tight end Ed West, number 86, was off the mark. And it'll be 4th down.
It was too easy. West was too open, I guess, because it was a wide open play and it worked. And it was a 3rd down situation. I guess they felt that it would be a good surprise play rather than have Campbell come in off the bench. Hadn't thrown anything except a couple of quick passes on the sideline.
Boy, this is our subs against your subs here today, that with all of these injury problems affecting both teams. We've got 2 third-string quarterbacks in action, and the Packers are going for it on 4th down. From the Bears' 32-yard line. Krause and Ivory are the setbacks. Campbell to throw. And it is incomplete as the rush was on. The Bears with a blitz led by Steve McMichael, the tackle, linebackers right behind him, and Todd Bell, the safety. And Campbell couldn't get the ball anywhere. So the Bears take over at their own 31-yard line. We have 2:56 to play in the first half. A scoreless football game.
Big, fast, nimble, durable, versatile. 5,000 new parts, German engineered. Introducing the new Volkswagen Golf, the new definition of hatchbacks. When you work on the new Golf as hard as we have, for as long as we have, everything just falls into place. Golf. It's not a car, it's a Volkswagen.
Evenings from 5 to 11, AT&T saves me 40% on long-distance calls. What could be better?
Sold for $150. Weekends, I get 60% off with AT&T.
What could be better?
You don't have to give up any service to save. That's what's better. Only AT&T gives you operator service, calls from anywhere to anywhere, and up to 60% off.
Now, that's what I like to hear.
That's AT&T. The more you hear, the better we sound.
Reach out and touch someone.
Wednesday, Charles and Gwendolyn experiment with love.
Oh, you get too hot too fast, you burn up.
And on ER, Howard gets a hip new helper.
Pressure?
Yeah, but I can handle it.
Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris back in Chicago at Soldier Field. The sun out, temperatures high, but a low score. In fact, no score. 0-0. Rusty Lish, the quarterback for the Bears, has time, and now the pass is incomplete, intended for Thomas. He's setting up the screen on the right side. 2 blockers in front of him. Lish didn't get the ball to him. It'll be 2nd and 10. And look at this. Indianapolis leading the Dolphins 17-7.
And Dolphins last week, didn't they? Don Shula's teams don't usually lose 2 in a row.
Especially not late in the year.
Yeah.
Well, the Eagles here with a win over New England, if they stay that way, could knock New England out of the playoff picture. Their chances are slim anyway. Cincinnati's in a must-win there. They're still in the thick of it in the AFC Central. And Kansas City doing a number on Seattle, 24-7. Second and 10. Draw play Suey. Suey trying to get wide, batters his way through one tackler, Douglas, and picks up about 5 on the play, and is forced out by Tom Flynn and Tim Lewis. Lewis made the initial contact, and he's a little slow to get up. Number 26. And he's apparently all right. Second-year man from Pittsburgh. Forrest Gregg thinks he's got himself an all-pro caliber player on the corner. 195-pounder, number 1 choice a year ago, Tim Lewis. 7 interceptions. In fact, Gregg had an interesting perspective. He said, if we get to 8-8, he might go to the Pro Bowl. And if we don't win our last couple of games, we'll probably be overlooked. Third down. Lish again with lots of time, but now forced out and dropped the ball. And it's still loose, recovered by Green Bay. George Cumby, his second fumble recovery of the day. Mike Douglas again stripping the ball from Lish the second time Douglas has done it. So Green Bay, with ample time remaining, 2:32, has the ball back. The third fumble of the game.
Well, the Bears have problems when they're going to the air, and Lish takes off. Pretty good protection, but look at this. He had all day to throw, couldn't find anybody open, has that ball out loosely, and there was Douglas with the strip of the ball, a pile up, and 52 George Cumby gets it, and he's protected by the rest of the Packers. In fact, he wanted to get up and run some more. So Green Bay's had some opportunities recovering fumbles, but hadn't been able to punch over that goal line or even get a field goal.
First down at the Bear 38-yard line. Rich Campbell, the quarterback. Campbell deep sideline and almost picked off by Sean Gale. Number 23, the rookie playing for the injured Leslie Frazier. Boy, you go through these lineups. They're down to their third string quarterbacks, both teams, because of injuries. Starting offensive tackle Carl Swanke, starting center Larry McCarron, both out of the offensive line for Green Bay. Of course, Jesse Clark, the fullback's been gone. John Jefferson is out. That's just the Packers' offensive injuries. It's just 2 beaten up teams here, and the Bears, of course, trying to get healthy again for their playoff game. Coming up at halftime, scores and highlights on the NFL today. Second and 10 here, 2:25 to play. Quickly out to Philip Epps. Epps with the catch, breaks loose down the sideline, is forced out of bounds, but not until he got to the 21-yard line, and a Packer first down. And another Bear player is down and hurt. Philip Epps getting involved for the first time in the half. The speedster from TCU can fly. And that, as I believe, Sean Gale, number 23. Bears can ill afford another defensive injury.
Okay, and you can see this was an excellent call with the fake of the action off to the right. He throws that quick screen out there to the wide receiver. And look at the block here coming downfield as Sean Gale just gets laid over by number 67, Carl Swanke, who is in the game, and Epps is finally knocked out of bounds by Mike Singletary. But Sean Gale is still down on the field.
Well, he is playing for Leslie Frazier, who has an arch injury, stretched ligaments in his arch, and has missed several games already.
You know, Sean Gale saw Swanke bearing down on him, and he went low to avoid the contact of a 270-pounder against a 185-pounder. And looked like he kind of got his foot caught under him.
Well, as they take off Sean Gale, an opportunity to tell you about our college football bowl action starting on December 22nd. The Sun Bowl will feature the Terrapins of Maryland against the Volunteers from Tennessee, live at 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock Central. And then we will move to Atlanta, Georgia for the Peach Bowl on the 31st, New Year's Eve. The Boilermakers of Purdue, a lot of you Big Ten fans looking in, will see your heroes against the Cavaliers from Virginia. And then, of course, New Year's Day, the Boston College Fluties against the Cougars of Houston, live at 1:30 Eastern Time, 12:30 Central. And I would say there are going to be an awful lot of folks who want to see that game just to watch that exciting little quarterback, Doug Flutie.
It looks like Sean Gale is out for at least the rest of this game. We're going to look at the end of the play as Terry Schmidt's going to come on to play one of the cornerbacks. Okay, here's the injury. Here comes Swanke, and see, he got his leg caught, his foot caught underneath him, and then the force of all that weight came down on him. So he may have strained Well, let's not speculate on what it was, but he has a sore foot. Terry Schmidt is in at the corner. He has played sporadically at the cornerback position this year, but he's a 10-year, 11-year veteran who has a lot of experience, number 44.
Swanke has a shoulder injury and didn't start the game. Huffman was over in his spot with Keith Euchre at guard. Campbell on first down. Up the middle, complete to Ray Krause to make it Gary Ellis, 31. Gary Ellis, the 5-year man from Missouri, made a fine catch on a low ball from Campbell. Plucked it out of the air on the run, and it's 1st and goal, Green Bay.
But a super play by Campbell as he watched Ellis all the way out there, and he threaded the needle there. Got it right in between a bunch of dark jerseys, and Ellis made the nice hand grab, and the Packers have a chance to get somebody on the scoreboard.
Don't believe everything you hear about the revolutionary new Volkswagen Jetta. The rumors about its roominess,
Want a lift?
the exaggerations about its German road car handling, and its trunk space. The one about the Volkswagen Jetta costing $79.94, it's $79.95. We hope this brings all those wild exaggerations to an end. Jetta, it's not a car, it's a Volkswagen.
Shape up your waist. Shape up your thighs. Shape up your homeowner's insurance.
Homeowner's insurance?
Now's the time to shape up your homeowner's insurance at Allstate. Just bring in your policy and compare. We'll do everything we can to save you money. And with an Allstate Shape Up and Save discount, you may qualify for additional savings of up to 15%. So run on in and save.
Shape up and save.
It's okay if you just drive in.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris with the Green Bay Packers are on the doorstep here, having recovered the second Rusty Lish fumble of the afternoon in a scoreless football game. 2 minutes to play first half. Rich Campbell, the third-string quarterback, has the Pack 1st and goal at the Bear 4. Play action. The pass wide open is Ed West, touchdown. Ed West, the tight end, a rookie from Auburn, a free agent. And a beautiful play by the Packers. The Bears did not expect that at all.
Not on first down at the 2.5-yard line. Pretty good call here, and he was so open. It looked like he was going to bat that ball away the way he reached out with his hands. He didn't let it come into the body. He said, I want to get out and get that ball in a hurry. And Otis Wilson had no chance. Ed West with the slammer, and the Packers have the lead.
Well, it has been an unusual half, and the Green Bay Packers are the first to get it into the end zone. Bucky Scribner will hold for Del Greco, and he has the point after. So the Green Bay Packers, trying to even their season record at 8-8 with victories in the final 2 games, have taken the early lead here. Well, not so early. We're almost at halftime.
Everybody went for the play action on that. Nobody suspected a pass on first down as Ed West scores the touchdown. He has really come on quickly for the Green Bay Packers as the second tight end.
Well, they lost Gary Lewis with that illness that has affected his lung. Lewis had jumped to the USFL and come back, and then they lost him to his illness. And Ed West, a chance to stick with the club, backing up Paul Kaufman. And Forrest Gregg said yesterday the young man has just come along better and better. He was primarily a blocker at Auburn, wasn't drafted, signed as a free agent, blocky kind of a guy, 6'1", 242-pounder. And he said he's an outstanding blocker who's just getting better and better as a pass receiver. They like him.
And that, by the way, was Rich Campbell's first NFL touchdown pass of his 4-year career. He hasn't played a lot in league games, but he's going to get some playing time the rest of this game, that's for sure.
Al Del Greco will kick it off as the Packers, recovering that fumble, move 37 yards in 4 plays. And Campbell capping it with a touchdown pass, a beautiful call on 1st and goal. And there's Campbell standing behind Ray Krause, the rookie fullback. And Campbell playing in relief of the injured Randy Wright, who's in relief, started the game in relief of Lynn Dickey. And a bouncing kickoff will be fielded at the 15 by Cameron. And Cameron gets to the 20 where he is stopped. And the first contact by John Dorsey. reserve rookie linebacker. Coming up at halftime, this important and busy afternoon. You'll be caught up totally with Brent and Irv. Scores and highlights and our Legends of the Game feature today on the great Washington quarterback Sonny Jurgensen. And of course, his alma mater in the pros, the Redskins, will be at Dallas. Our doubleheader game, except in the Chicago area. You won't get to see it here, but the rest of you looking in from other parts of the country will see that key game in the NFC East. The Redskins and the Cowboys.
The Peyton is now at quarterback, or whatever you want to call it, spread formation.
The crowd has responded to this. And Walter Payton runs it on first down and has a first down.
How about that? Well, Mike Ditka told us they may try this, not because maybe Lish wasn't doing too well, but he says, we just want to put it in. We want teams to see it. We want to see how it works. We want to provide some excitement.
Mike Douglas made the stop, but a 10-yard gain and a first down. And this time he comes to the near sideline, and Peyton picks up about 2 on that play to the 35-yard line. Cumbie, number 52, knocks him out of bounds. 1:19 stops the clock getting out of bounds.
Okay, he has to call the signals, he has to catch the ball, and he has to go for the hold. The blocking remains basically the same because he usually runs out of the eye anyway. The key here is that they don't have too many plays. They have been working on it because of the quarterback situation over the past few weeks. They had everybody getting hurt. They had it in reserve. So Coach Ditka said, hey, what the heck? Let's give it a shot and see what happens.
Peyton has 113 yards on 19 carries, and we haven't finished the first half. A high snap gathered in. He's going to throw, and the pass nearly picked off. He tried to throw that backing up, a screen pass intended for Thomas, and Ezra Johnson got a hand on it, knocked it down, and fell down hurt on the play. Now remember, Johnson, one of the real courageous Packers, has been playing this entire season, indeed the last couple with a back injury, the 8-year man out of Morris Brown, and they planned back surgery for him when the season is over. He's unable to play a full game. It's just too painful. They bring him in on passing downs, and he acknowledges that it hurts every time he pushes off to make his charge. And evidently he has re-injured that chronic back problem on this play here. So we have a timeout on the field. Green Bay in front.
I'd sure like another Stroh's.
No way. Alex, 2 cold Stroh's. Where do you see this? Just open the refrigerator. Just open one bottle. Just open the other. Now he's pouring yours. Now he's pouring mine. Alex, you better be drinking your water.
Stroh's and Stroh Light Fire Brewed for smoother taste.
Guten Morgen.
Morgen.
Wir nehmen den neuen Jetta.
Ah, Paris.
Introducing the new Volkswagen Jetta, the first affordable German road car.
Allez-y.
Exhilarating performance, precise, responsive handling. With the new Jetta, half the fun is getting there.
Paris.
Hey, der Eiffelturm.
The other half is getting back. Jetta. It's not a car, it's a Volkswagen.
Here is that
Johnny
near,
Morris. Let's see it, Johnny.
Yeah, here's that near interception by Johnson. He got his hand on it, but it seemed like he got his leg tangled as he took the leap, and it is the knee, and he has gone off the field.
As he was helped off limping, an apparent leg injury. There you see him, and so along with his back problem, he's now got a sore leg. Robert Brown is in to replace him, and Walter Payton running out of the tailback spot. Picks up about 5 yards, and it'll be 4th down and about a yard to go. Depending on where they spot, it might be a little longer than that. Payton calls timeout with 1 minute remaining in the first half. Walter Payton running out of the spread formation for the Chicago Bears, something that had been talked about by Mike Ditka, finally implemented, and Payton getting a chance to do more of his dazzling things.
When you run from the spread formation and you do run blocks, because usually when the Bears are in the spread to a quarterback, it's a pass. Now Jay Hilgenberg has to center the ball and not set up for pass blocking, but he has to block forward to run on a running play, and that can. We were talking to Jay yesterday, and he said if we use it, that's my biggest problem is to make an accurate center, and then go forward on the block. However, that was kind of a draw play type of a situation. But Walter Payton now quarterback, and Johnny Unitas and Bart Starr, everybody better watch out. He likes those NFL records. He's liable to set a record.
Well, not the way through that first pass, he won't.
Yeah, a record for interceptions, maybe.
4th down and a yard. Green Bay leads 7-0.
They're going for it.
A minute to play first half. Ball at the Bears' 41-yard line.
Yeah, this is an interesting call.
Payton picks his way, has the first down, and gets to the 46-yard line of Chicago and calls another timeout. 51 seconds to play in the half. Chicago first down when we return after the timeout at their own 46-yard line, down 7-0.
Everyone wants to stop the tragedies caused by teenagers abusing beer, wine, and liquor. Hi, I'm Brian Holloway of the New England Patriots. For 9 years now, the National Football League, the Distilled Spirits Council, and groups like the National Association of State Boards of Education have been offering ideas and help to concerned parents and schools. Here in Lee, Massachusetts, they've put alcohol education in the classroom from the 6th grade on up. They've held workshops for parents and teens. They've set up a dial-a-ride program. They've given teens a chance to develop skills for making the right personal decision. It's a comprehensive and positive program involving the classroom and the whole community. It's working. Injuries and deaths from drunk driving by teens have been sharply reduced in just 2 years. It didn't cost a lot of money. It didn't require new laws. Here in Lee, they're proving that teamwork makes the difference.
For more information, call 202-682-8855. This message furnished by the National Football League.
The Chicago Bears playing for the home field advantage in their playoff game the weekend of January 29th and 30th as champions of the Central Division. Green Bay trying to win today and next week to finish at 8-8 in Forrest Gregg's rookie season as head coach. And the Packers lead it. Payton is the tailback quarterback, and he's throwing it deep for Galt. Galt is bumped. There'll be an interference call, I believe. The interception by Flynn, Tom Flynn. And he is finally hauled down by Brad Anderson at the Green Bay 10-yard line. There was a collision between Galt and the cornerback, who I believe was Tim Lewis. Now, did Galt push off? If he did, it's Packer ball.
It looked like Galt ran right up his legs to me.
Number 83.
It is against Willie Galt. The Packers have possession. Payton's second pass is picked off by Flynn, and Green Bay takes over at the 10-yard line with 36 seconds to play in the first half.
That's 7 interceptions for Flynn now. So he and Tim Lewis both have 7. But it did appear that Willie Galt ran right up his back there.
That might be the easiest interception that Flynn ever made because there's nobody around him except fellow Packers. And Flynn made the grab as Payton trying to get it deep to Galt, but Galt had run into the defender, Tim Lewis. And offensive interference was charged. So Green Bay has the football and the lead and the clock. 36 seconds remaining first half. They all bunch up behind Rich Campbell, and they'll let things wind down here and take that 7-point margin to the locker room. Under sunny skies on the 9th of December in Chicago, it's been a strange afternoon in more ways than one.
It certainly has. I'll say one thing. Payton threw that ball a long ways.
Yes, he did. He aired it out, as they would say, and his arm strength is well known. Of course, he has not had a great deal of experience passing the ball as a quarterback, but his accuracy on option plays has been pretty good over the years. So they let the clock wind down, and we're at halftime at Soldier Field with the Green Bay Packers hurting the Bears' home field chances, leading 7-0.
Remember when the most wanted gift was electric trains with switches, an erector set with a motor, a chemistry set with a Bunsen burner. Now it's computers with disk drives and printers. Isn't it wonderful you can give a computer as powerful as the Commodore 64 for a price as low as the Commodore 64?
Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Chip.
It's the Clauses, everybody. Have a chicken McNugget. Don't worry, it's under 63 calories. Rudy, be a dear and open another 20-pack.
McDonald's Chicken McNuggets 20-pack makes every holiday party happy and fun.
Aren't we having fun? Mingle, mingle. Tiny Tim, tiny as ever. Take two.
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
Time for McDonald's gift certificates, 50 cents each, or a book of 10 for $5.
In today's Army, when artillery goes to the field, so does high technology.
Be all that you can be. Keep on reaching. Keep on growing.
Computers, laser-guided missiles, and teamwork honed to a split-second response. Only the Army gives you this kind of training with just a 2-year enlistment.
You can do it in the Army.
In college basketball's glamour month of December, CBS Sports presents the nation's top teams head-to-head as they pursue their dreams of winning it all. Next Saturday, in what may be a preview of things to come, second-ranked DePaul goes against Patrick Ewing and top-ranked Georgetown. In 2 weeks, UCLA visits New York's Madison Square Garden to face Chris Mullin and third-ranked St. John's. Here on the home of the NCAA Championship, CBS Sports.
Well, Walter Payton always said he could do everything.
Now he's a quarterback. Looks like an old-fashioned single-wing offense, though.
I'll tell you, he didn't look too bad back there either, did he? And, of course, at the half, the score, well, Rich Campbell has the Packers on the board, and they lead the Bears right now by a count of 7-0. Two scores you're not going to believe around the league. The Dolphins were thinking in terms of running the score up on the Colts because of the home field advantage they need throughout the AFC playoffs. Now they are struggling just to win it. But the Seattle Seahawks have been unable to take advantage of it as the Chiefs are pounding them 24-7 right now at the half. Atlanta and Tampa Bay, two teams, of course, going nowhere. 13-6, the Bucs lead there. New Orleans and Cincinnati, and the Saints scored with time running out in the first half. Dave Wilson just heaved it into the end zone, and Hobie Brenner caught it for a touchdown. Pittsburgh and Cleveland, the Steelers, of course, if they have a combination of the Bengals losing and they can hold on against Cleveland, then the Steelers would wrap up the AFC Central this afternoon. Philadelphia over New England, and teams from the NFC East have been very tough on the Patriots as of late. They lost that big one on Thanksgiving to the Cowboys, and that started their downslide there. The Giants and St. Louis, the Cardinals having beaten the Patriots last week. Now they've got the big showdown against the Giants in Busch Memorial Stadium, and what a job they're doing. The Giants struck first. Lionel Manuel on a 3rd and goal got free with a slick move in the end zone, and Phil Simms hit him for the touchdown. But Jim Hannafin and the Cardinals regrouped. On a crucial 3rd down, Neil Lomax went to number 83, Pat Tilley, in the corner of the end zone. They tied it at 7. Then the key turnover. Phil Simms' pass, deflected by Grooms, intercepted by Howard at midfield, and the Cardinals went on the drive that resulted in this touchdown. Lomax throwing underneath the coverage, hit Stump Mitchell, and Mitchell's 11th touchdown of the season put the Cardinals ahead, and it is 14-7 in the biggest game of the season. Now, subsequently in the second half, Lionel Taylor injures his ankle for the Giants, and he has had to leave the game at this moment. We do not know how serious, but obviously it would be extremely difficult for the Giants to come back in that game if they are going to have to operate without Taylor throughout the rest of the second half. Last night down in Phoenix, Jerry Cooney put on his most impressive display yet in his attempt to come back and take another shot at the heavyweight championship. This was the action against George Chaplin, and the fight was stopped at 2 minutes and 50 seconds of the second round. Now, Chaplin in the past had at least been able to go the distance. In 30 previous fights, he lasted the distance against Greg Page, Michael Dokes, and Harry Coetzee, but last night it was all Cooney.
He kind of surprised me with his short reach. I didn't think he was going to jab so much, and I had to take a little while to catch his range. And when I started to see him slow down a little, I hit him with an uppercut on the button to see him slow down. So I started off slow, trying to catch a hold of him, and then I just figured, let me open up for a little while.
Did he hurt you?
No, not at all.
One more fight, and Cooney says he'll be ready for Page. We've got an update. The Bengals have just gone ahead. Kenny Anderson has been forced in to play quarterback. Boomer Esiason was ineffective, and he threw the touchdown pass to James Brooks. 10-7 now, third quarter. The NFL Today continues on CBS after these messages from your local stations.
Tonight,
we're in the same business.
The creator of A House of Horrors involves Jessica in an unsolvable mystery when he's found dead. James Coco guest stars on Murder, She Wrote. Then John Ritter, Shelley Long, Joan Collins, Cary Grant, Burt Reynolds, and over 100 stars in a night of love, laughter, and surprises. An all-star party for Lucille Ball. And on Trapper John, a brilliant young surgeon must choose between the perfect career and his duty to his hometown.
Moment of truth has arrived. Don't blow it, kid.
It's all tonight.
This is CBS.
Christmas time is almost here. You need the special savings from Santa at Mills Fleet Farm.
Like a handy Costco two-step stool, only $9.99.
Or how about a Humminbird LCD fish locator, just $179.95. Or a collision avoidance light for your car, just $9.99.
Take it from Santa. If you want to make the most of your Christmas shopping dollar, don't miss the special savings from Santa. Now at Mills Fleet Farm.
I see empty pockets.
Oh, no.
Fire will close your store.
But I have insurance.
A store, yes. Lost income, no.
Oh, no.
Wait, I see Spectrum Insurance from the Hartford.
The company with the moose?
I see a Stag. The Spectrum business package pays for a building and can replace lost income for up to a year.
So everything will be great if I switch to Spectrum.
With business, yes. Your love life?
Compare your business policy with Spectrum. Call an independent agent who represents the Hartford.
You've seen the Blatz Challenge on TV. Now we challenge you again. Compare our new popular price Blatz LA low alcohol beer against these brands. Blatz LA has half the alcohol, half the calories of our regular beer. Anheuser-Busch LA, 110 calories. Miller Lite, 96 calories. Blatz LA, only 73 calories. We challenge you to compare the quality, compare the calories, compare the price.
Watch MASH weekdays at 6:30 and 10:30 p.m.
Reminder still ahead of us this afternoon on CBS, the doubleheader showdown down in Dallas. It's the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. Joe Theismann takes on Danny White. You know, when you think of the great NFL quarterbacks from the 1960s, you automatically think of those who played for championship teams. Johnny Unitas of the Colts, Bart Starr in Green Bay, and of course, Joe Namath of the Miracle Jets. They are perhaps the first names that come to mind. But in the opinion of many football folks, the greatest of them all from that era was a quarterback who really never made it to a championship game as a starter. And that man, Sonny Jurgensen, is the subject today of Herb Cross's profile in our Legends of the Game series.
Monk to the near side, Brown to the far. Riggins the lone back on 2nd down and 9. Straight drop by Theismann. Sets, fires it up over the middle. Got the tight end, Rick Walker, at the 20. Fights his way across the 20 to the 19.
Sam, it wasn't anyone in 5 yards of Joe Theismann that time as he dropped back. If they don't rush the passer, he's going to have a field day.
Well, there's 3 against 5, you know.
When it comes to analyzing pro football, the man with the cigar knows what he's talking about. Because for more than a decade, he was the quarterback of the Washington Redskins. A man as famous for his pot belly as he was for his forward passing. And yet a man Vince Lombardi called the greatest quarterback he ever coached. His name is Christian Adolph Jurgensen, but his friends call him Sonny. In 1964, after 7 years in Philadelphia, Sonny Jurgensen arrived in Washington with an arm described as the best in the game. He led the league in passing yardage a record 5 times, and only Fran Tarkenton and John Unitas threw more career touchdown passes. But for all his statistical accomplishments, he never played in a championship game.
We played exciting football, but again, we were used to be beaten 42-37. I can recall games throwing, 4 or 5 touchdown passes over 400 yards and losing the game, and which was a big disappointment.
In 1972, when George Allen guided the Skins to Super Bowl VII, Sonny was suffering from a torn Achilles tendon.
I remember Don Shula coming up to me and saying, it'd be a better game if you could play in it, Sonny, and gosh, that was sad.
One winner Sonny did get the chance to play for was coaching legend Vince Lombardi.
He was the only coach I ever played for that never mentioned my stomach. And I understand why, or I understood why, after my first practice with him, because he almost killed me at practice. He didn't have to be concerned about if you were going to be in condition or not.
His throwing arm and competitive spirit were always in shape. And in 1983, on the day the pot-bellied passer received his induction ring from the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it was Vince Lombardi who Sonny thanked.
It's a privilege and an honor to be enshrined here with him and all the other greats who surround me. All I can say is thanks. I don't think you anticipate being a member of the Hall of Fame if you haven't been on championship teams and won Super Bowls, but that one ring there takes the place of all the Super Bowls that took place in my 18 years.
Irv, did Sonny ever throw the ball behind his back in a game?
Yeah, you know, I was a rookie with the Eagles in '61. We were defending world champions and playing a college all-star game at Soldier Field. A defensive lineman came and he couldn't throw the ball over his, so he flipped it behind his back to Pete Russell for a 15-yard sideline completion. Unbelievable.
All right, he was a great one. Let's send you back down to the stadium and a game you're enjoying on CBS.
Here at Soldier Field in Chicago, the Green Bay Packers with a 7-0 lead at halftime. Rich Campbell's pass to Ed West, the only score. Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris here at halftime, and our guest is Jim McMahon, the first of the Chicago Bears quarterbacks to go out with an injury. Steve Fuller has since joined him on the sidelines. It is official, Jim, that you will not play in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl if the Bears get that far. How do you assess your team's chances under these circumstances to do well in the playoffs?
I think, you know, we've got to get some breaks somewhere along the line. We've got a lot of people injured, and I think if Steve Fuller is able to come back from his injury, we'll have a good chance. I think our defense is playing well enough to keep us in most of the ball games, and we've got to get some points on the board somehow.
What did you think when you saw Peyton out there? You afraid he might take your job?
Well, you know, Walter does so many things, and you know, it's a luxury to have him back there because, you know, with myself and Steve hurt, and Rusty's still having a little bit of problem, and it's glad, you know, I'm glad that we're able to do something offensively.
Jim, I don't think there's any doubt that people are pinning their hopes of the future at quarterback on Jim McMahon. What's your own word from the doctors about your future next season and the rest of it?
Well, once this thing does heal, that he said there'll be no problem, it'll be as good as new. So, you know, I'm happy about that. I just hope that I was hoping it would heal up faster. You know, it's tough for me to sit down there and see what's going on the football field because everybody's working their butts off and trying, and it just doesn't seem like they have any, you know, any spark right now.
Well, all right, Jim, we look forward to seeing you back in action with the Chicago Bears, and thanks for joining us here. Bears quarterback Jim McMahon will be back for the second half in just a moment.
Oh, what Sylvania light bulbs go through before they come to you. As many as 38 tests in all. So that when you do this, your Sylvania light bulb will do this for an average of 1,000 hours. And isn't that the best test of all?
Selling today, it's tough. Just one sales call can cost $200. So before your people go out, make sure it's a hot lead. AT&T can help. Our people can show your people how to use AT&T Watts and AT&T 800 service. So chances are, when they make a call, they'll make a sale.
Been expecting it.
The people of AT&T Communications. We're thinking about your business in ways you never thought of.
My family gave me Radio Shack's portable Model 100 computer for Christmas last year. 5 built-in programs, including telephone communications. And this Christmas, it's on sale. A super gift for my son. He can take notes at college. And one for my wife, for the household budgeting. And maybe one for, nice computer. They're on sale at Radio Shack.
Save $200 now on the Model 100 portable computer, only at Radio Shack.
Starting the second half, Bob Thomas will kick it off for the Bears, defending to our right. And it's taken at the 8-yard line by Del Rogers, number 35. The Packers lead by 7 and will have first down at the 23-yard line as Rodgers stopped there by Brian Cabral, number 54. Bears reserve linebacker, and Dan Raines, number 53. So it'll be Rich Campbell bringing them out. Here are the stats for the first half. You can see the numbers pretty even, and that's reflected on the scoreboard, but 4 Bear turnovers, something they do not normally do. 3 fumbles and an interception. 2 of the fumbles by Rusty Lish, the other by Matt Suhey, and the interception on a pass by Walter Payton in the waning seconds of the first half. This is Gary Ellis, and Ellis pulls his way to the 30-yard line for a gain of about 7. And let's go to Brent Musburger in New York for another NFL Today update.
Tim, the Giants have just drawn even with the Cardinals. It is Sims again, and he's got his tight end Moat for the touchdown. And now it is 14-all. Lawrence Taylor expected to return to the Giants defensively. Back to Tim and Johnny.
Well, that game is living up to its billing. It's a key game in the NFC East, and it looks like it's a dandy down in St. Louis. We'll keep you right on top of it. Terry Schmidt is in for Sean Gale defensively, trying to catch up on the injuries here, as both teams have been affected in this game, which has been the pattern for them in the past several weeks. Eddie Lee Ivory digging for about 2 yards. We'll see where they spot the ball. It'll be close to the first down marker, and we may have a measurement here. Injury report today, Randy Wright left with a knee injury, will not return. Ezra Johnson also with a knee injury for the Packers, will not return today. The Bears saw Richard Dent go out but come back. Gary Fensick was injured briefly. He has returned to the Bears secondary, but of course they are still without Mike Hartenstein. Hampton, who did not practice all week, has been in the game right from the beginning and has stayed in there and is out there now. And Sean Gale was injured near the end of the first half. He's working for the already injured Leslie Frazier in the Bears secondary, and he's been replaced by Terry Schmidt. So injuries continue to dominate the story of this football game. Campbell, the quarterback, has the first down for the Packers on the measurement. Ivory picks up about 2 over the 35-yard line. Mike Singletary, Henry Wachter in his first start back with the Bears, made the initial contact, number 70, and make it Ellis, the ball carrier, not Ivory. Ellis, number 31. It'll be 2nd and 9.
We have a couple of Ironmen that aren't playing. With Hartenstein had played, 145 straight games, and then Larry McCarron, he had, before he was injured, he had a whole long streak too.
162 for Larry McCarron before he was hurt a couple of weeks ago, replaced by Blake Moore, came over from Cincinnati. Campbell gets time, and it's incomplete. Fensick got a hit on Philip Epps as the ball arrived, but the pass was already off target. Epps wasn't going to catch it anyway, but he paid the price of running in Gary Fensick's territory.
Well, he was the free safety in that situation, and that was double coverage inside-outside, and boy, those are the steps that a wide receiver has to be aware of. When you come across on that quick post, and you know there's a free safety waiting, there's 45 at the bottom of your screen, and he knew he was there, and boy, the wide receivers don't take that many hits, but when they take them.
Jeff Fisher and Dave Dewerson have come in. Fisher for Terry Schmidt because Schmidt's already in there playing for Sean Gale. It's complicated. Campbell forced out of the pocket, will run the ball, and he is met at the 40-yard line by Fensick after a gain of 4 yards. It'll be 4th down. Another Packer player is down.
Swanky.
That's Carl Swanky, who was already out with a shoulder injury, came into the game in the second period, replacing Tim Huffman. We did not have an injury report on Huffman, but Swanky is down and hurt now. Now the Packers, we mentioned, have been hurt along the offensive line with Swanky, McCarron.
Well, we've had a lot of injuries in this game. A lot of injuries in the NFL. I don't know what the total is, but this has got to be one of the biggest years for injuries. It looks like they're checking out his neck. He does wear a neck brace.
But he had a shoulder injury, so
yeah,
the likelihood
he probably got stung in the same spot.
Yeah, the same kind of thing. 5-year man from Boston College. Forrest Gregg likes his offensive line now. He said these guys are are going to be a good one. He's got Keith Euchre that he picked up from Denver. Tim Huffman starting at left guard, Euchre behind him. He's got Ron Hallstrom, the #1 pick in '82, starting at right guard now. 2 moves he made earlier in the season. Huffman and Hallstrom becoming starters.
And the Bears are doing a lot of shifting around in the middle of that line.
On 4th down, Scribner hits it from the 35. Jeff Fisher, signaling fair catch, takes it at the 24-yard line of the Bears.
Well, let's see if they go with Walter Payton or back to Rusty Lish. Number 12, Rusty Lish coming back in at quarterback. And they're getting a few mixtures of boos. I don't think that's booing Lish. They just wanted to see a little sweetness back there.
Running out of that tailback spot and throwing the ball. Meanwhile, a flag was down on the punt play back at the line of scrimmage, and that usually means somebody left a little too soon from the Packers line of scrimmage.
Number 51, ineligible player downfield, re-kick, 5-yard penalty.
Well, that is the call indeed. Number 51 of the Packers, Guy Prather, reserve linebacker, and so they will bring it back and punt it over again 5 yards deeper. Fisher, the deep man waiting for it, can move up closer to the 30-yard line. Fisher getting some time in the secondary because of the injury to Gale, now coming in on the nickel and 6-back situations.
The Bears have a good chance now of losing their first Central Division game this year. They were 6-0 going into this game, have not lost a game in the Central Division this season.
Green Bay started the season at 1-7, lost 7 in a row. They won 5 of their last 6 despite the injury problems. A chance to even their record at 8-8. They could win the final 2 games. Good punt by Scribner, and Fisher had a little trouble making the catch on the ball. It kind of came down like a wounded duck, but he maintained possession, and the Bears will start first down from their 26-yard line when we return. John Dorsey made the tackle for Green Bay.
Michelob Light, super premium taste in a less filling beer. Who says you can't have it all?
Who says you can't work for somebody and live for you? Who says you can't have your life and love it too? Michelob Light, oh yes you can. Michelob Light, oh yes you can. Michelob Light, oh yes you can. Have it all.
Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris as Rusty Lish has returned to quarterback. The Chicago Bears here in the first possession of the second half. They give to Payton. Payton only got a couple there as Mark Bortz, his guard, was pushed back by a charging defensive line, and George Cumby made a good defensive play to stop Payton. Let's go to Brent Musburger again in New York.
Tim, it is 4th and 5 for the St. Louis Cardinals. Neil Lomax from the shotgun on this 4th down. Roy Green breaks deep against Kenny Daniel, who's replaced the injured Mark Haynes, and the Cardinals take a 7-point lead. Daniel with a good return now, and the Giants can go even again. Back to Tim.
Well, injuries again playing a role. As Brent just reported, Mark Haynes out of the Giants secondary, and that's a big loss for them, and Cardinals taking advantage. What a game they've got going. Rusty Lish to Dunsmore. Dunsmore has the catch inbounds, and they'll mark it down up closer to the marker as the Packers thought they had him knocked out, but the official ran quickly up the sideline and said that Dunsmore stayed in bounds and picked up about another 4 yards, so it's close to a first down. 3rd down and about a half a yard to go. Now Dunsmore and Moorhead both making plays here today, somewhat redeeming themselves as they had problems catching the ball in the lights at San Diego last Monday night. Lish has now moved to 50%, 6 of 12. The ball at the Chicago Bear 36-yard line. Packers lead 7-0. Moorhead in motion behind the ball. Natsui has a hole and a first down to the 45-yard line of Chicago. Mark Murphy, the safety, number 37, met him there.
And Keith Van Horn is injured. He's down on the turf, but he gets back up. He was a key blocker at the point of attack, number 78, as a lot of players are getting dinged in this football game. As you see, Matt Suhey bust through a big hole. They did not hand to Walter Payton this time. And Suhey, a good hard runner, good short yardage. The problem he's had in the last few games is a fumble now and then. But he gets the first down, hangs onto the ball. Matt Suhey out of Penn State, and he is a little bit groggy. Boy, they must be hitting down there.
Dalvin Thomas in for Suhey. First down, Chicago. Lish forced out of the pocket. Will run the football, and he is going to be stopped. There'll be no gain on the play. Lish hit right at the line of scrimmage, and he didn't hesitate much about taking off with the football. As soon as he was forced out, away he went. Alfonso Carricker, number 76, and Tim Lewis, the quarterback, number 26, making the good defensive play for Green Bay. 2nd and 9, Chicago.
And let's give some credit to Mark Lee over on the other side of the field. You didn't see it, folks, but he did good coverage on Willie Goff to prevent that pass to be thrown. And that's what forced Lish to go around in the pocket. Remember, Mark Lee could have been kicked out of this football game with that situation in the first half. He did not get kicked out and came up with a good play right there.
Baschnagel in as an extra wide receiver. Dunsmore, the tight end, came out. Play action. And Lish forced back, get away, ran into an official, and he's going to be dropped for a sack at the 40-yard line. A loss of 5 yards on the play. Mike Douglas got him. Lish tried to reverse his field and ran into the referee.
It appeared that somebody missed a signal somewhere because it was the rollout with the fake of the action, and there was supposed to be a receiver coming across the field, but Willie Gault went straight down the field, didn't seem to be aware that there was a thing, and it looked like it might have been a screen back this way, and everything got messed up. And Rusty Lish has not played all that much, and it's beginning to show, although it's not all his fault. The Bears quarterback situation is up in the air, and we may see Greg Landry before this game is over. Just a few plays.
Well, the Chicago Bears, who are among the top 2 or 3 sackers in the league, don't have any. The Packers have 5. And that is a near interception intended for Baschnagel. Mike Douglas tipped it nearly into the hands of Tim Lewis. And the Bluebirds are out here at Soldier Field. It'll be 4th down. Mike Douglas, a key figure in the last 2 plays, sacking Lish and then breaking up the pass.
There's Mike Ditka wondering what's going on. His number 1 quarterback out for the year, Steve Fuller, hopefully would be ready for the playoffs. He's got Greg Landry, who hadn't played in 6 months, just signed, and he has Rusty Lish, a newcomer, young quarterback who hasn't played very much. So, and you're taking your team into the playoffs in that kind of situation, makes it rough.
Finzer stands at his 25-yard line. Tom Flynn waiting for it at the Packer 22. Packers lead it 7-0. Good punt by Finzer. Fair catch signaled by Flynn, and the ball will bounce out of bounds at the 12-yard line. So Dave Finzer does the job, and the Packers will start from deep in their own end, but they have the lead, 7-0, with 9:17 to play, 3rd quarter.
Who says you can't have it all? Who says you can't have pinstripes and rock and roll? Who says you can't get ahead without losing your soul? Who says you can't taste life without it taking its toll? Michelob Light. Oh yes you can. Michelob Light. Oh yes you can. Oh, yes, you can have it all.
Michelob Light. Super premium taste in a less filling beer. Who says you can't have it all?
Who says you can't work for somebody and live for you? Who says you can't have your life and love it too? Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Have it all.
First down, Green Bay from their own 12-yard line. Rich Campbell, the 3rd-string quarterback, who came in for the injured Randy Wright. Gary Ellis, the Missouri veteran, pulls his way for about 4 yards to the 14-yard line. Al Harris and Mike Singletary made the tackle.
Let's check out some football scores. Look at Tampa Bay, 20-6 over the Falcons, who have really gone down the tubes this second half of the season. Cincinnati leads New Orleans, so the Bengals still have a shot there.
Yeah, they need a win, though. Pittsburgh is winning 17-13 over Cleveland, and the Colts coming, the Dolphins coming back against the Colts. Still trailing by 3. The pass is complete to Ray Krause.
Boy, did Richard Dent really clobber Campbell when he got that pass off. Oh, we almost had another quarterback out.
Short of the first down. It'll be third down, just a 2-yard pickup. It'll be third and about 5. Meanwhile, we see Greg Landry warming up on the Bears sidelines. And look what Kansas City's doing to Seattle today. Seattle and Denver will meet in the final game of the season. Try and settle that AFC West championship. Campbell on third down. Just got it off. It's intercepted by Fensick. Gets away from Lofton. Fensick out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Pressure on the quarterback, Campbell, came from Richard Dent again, who was slow to get up as he has been colliding with the Packer quarterbacks all day today, although he does not yet have a sack.
Gary Fensick was the free safety, and he was really helping out on a double. Watch 45 at the bottom of your screen. Here comes Lofton. He drops off. He watches the quarterback and then goes out into the deeper zone, and it just makes a nice interception, steals it away from Epps, breaks the tackle by Lofton, who tried to go too high, and gets a few extra yards before he is knocked out of bounds. Big play by the Bear defense, which has been the trademark all season for the Chicago team. Defense.
Rusty Lish continues at quarterback despite Landry warming up, and Payton has the ball in a hole to the 7-yard line. Walter Payton. Tom Flynn made the tackle with Mike Douglas, who's having his usual active game defensively. Covers a lot of territory.
Gary Fensick now has 30 interceptions during his career. He's second on the all-time Chicago Bear list behind Richie Pettibone, who had 39. Fensick now has 30 and 5 for this year.
Payton is up to 128 yards on 23 carries. Second and 3 for the first down. Payton to the 5-yard line. He'll be close to the first down yardage, but it would appear to be a little short. And will leave a third and about a half a yard.
Obviously a big game for Chicago in the respect of trying to gain that home field advantage in the playoffs. And if they win this one, they would be in a pretty good spot. If they lose it, they're in a bad spot.
Yeah, they need a lot of help if they lose. If they win today and can win in Detroit next week, and if Dallas loses to Washington later, which is my pick to happen, then the Bears would clinch the home field. I think Washington is really coming on in that NFC East, but that's going to go right down to the wire in that division. And, of course, the Giants and St. Louis battling each other tooth and nail. Two of the other principals involved. Brown and Martin come in defensively. Bill Neal is on the nose.
Walter Payton is asking the fans for some applause. 34 says, okay, now he says, be quiet.
Can't have it both ways. Third and short for the first down. Suey has the first down to the 3-yard line. First and goal, Chicago, with a chance to tie things up. Thomas comes in.
Well,
Suey goes out.
This time you see Walter Payton, 34, is leading the way, and Suey follows Payton. A little reversal of roles, and Suey gets the first down. The Packers, of course, hoping to force another turnover. They have forced 3 fumbles. So they'll be going for the ball.
The ball is inside the 3. Suey, Thomas, and Payton are all in as running backs. Now Payton moves to the wing. First and goal. They pitch to Peyton off the wing. He's going to throw the ball. Touchdown, Matt Suhey. Just inside the sideline. Peyton to Suhey.
You're not going to believe what happened there, too. Watch what Calvin Thomas did with the official. He went up and gave him a big hug. At first, he was going to chew him out because he thought he was going to call Suhey out of bounds as Peyton threw the pass right on the dime, and he went up and started to chew him out, instead gave him a big hug. As Matt Suhey redeems himself for that fumble he made earlier in the football game, and Peyton came up with his versatility. Once again, he could have actually run the ball over with 3 backs in the game. And Peyton here, watch all the running room he had. He could have run around, but there, Suhey makes the grab, gets to 2 feet in bounds, and the Bears can tie the game right now.
Bob Thomas for the point after. Maschnagel the hold, and it is good. So with 5:45 to play in the third quarter at Soldier Field, we have a 7-7 football game. The Bears hoping for the home advantage in the playoff.
Raise your hand. You got it. Raise your hand. You know it. You feel confident, secure.
If you want to feel confident, raise your hand. If you want to feel secure, raise your hand. If you want protection that helps you feel dry all day, raise your hand and reach for sure.
Confident, confident, dry and secure. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're sure. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're sure.
You know what I don't like about dandruff? Dandruff shampoos. I'm afraid they won't leave my hair the way I like it. This shampoo cares for my hair. It's the only one with a self-balancing formula. Puts dandruff protection where I need it, on my scalp, not on my hair, and it conditions where I need it. Leaves my hair looking and feeling good. Yeah, my shampoo's a dandruff shampoo, but it's today's Head and Shoulders, and it cares for my hair.
This is National Drunk and Drug Driving Awareness Week. Take a few minutes to think about the important responsibility you have behind the wheel of a car. Please don't drink and drive.
Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris back at Soldier Field. They've turned the lights on here. The skies are cloudy now, but it is still very, very warm for a Chicago December day. Line drive kickoff by Thomas, fielded by Del Rogers at the 4. Rogers picks his way up the sideline. He's got some running room. One man to beat. It's Bob Thomas. Touchdown, Rogers. No flags are down. 97 yards.
Unbelievable play.
Last time the Bears had a big one, the record was 76 yards. A kickoff return by Billy Johnson of Houston.
And Del Rogers did. He actually stopped. Looked like he had no chance. He was pinned over against the sidelines. Got a couple of key blocks, then broke this tackle. And then it was a question of whether Bob Thomas, the Bears field goal kicker, could catch Del Rogers. And it was 16 against 35, and Thomas had no chance. Right here, he realizes it. Rogers turned it on, goes in for the touchdown. The Packers have stormed back like a flash to take the lead again.
Del Rogers, a second-year man from Utah, has carried from scrimmage only 12 times this year. He's been unhappy in his role as a reserve running back, been used primarily on the special teams. Came off a neck injury a year ago. Doesn't think he's been getting his time. Scribner bobbles the snap, now throws a pass, incomplete. Well, we've seen about everything in this football game. And then some.
You could call a penalty on Jeff Fisher on that if you wanted to, but he was really yanking on the receiver who was, I believe it was Kaufman. This is getting to be a comedy of errors in some ways.
So the Packers take the lead, but they miss the point after, and Forrest Gregg over with some words for Bucky Scribner.
Okay, he just bobbled the ball. Now watch up at the top left screen. Watch 24 for the Bears. Here comes the pass. And he's just yanking on the, I think it was Kaufman. He says, you're not going to catch that football. But everybody said the play was so messed up, why call a penalty, I guess.
Well, Green Bay has recaptured the lead. 5:23 to play, third period.
A new idea, like a pebble in a pond, can change the world around it. Technology from a company called TRW puts ideas to work. And when an idea gets going, there's no end to where it can lead. Tomorrow is taking shape at a company called TRW.
This is the definitive book on champagne. While writing it, noted author William Kaufman evaluated the finest champagnes in the world.
Here's an extraordinary find. A California champagne that is both truly dry and delightfully drinkable. New Andre Brut. No other American champagne can compare.
New Andre Brut. No other American champagne can compare.
Al Del Greco will kick it off for the Green Bay Packers. They lead 13-7 on the 97-yard return by Del Rogers of a Bears kickoff. The ball is fielded by Cameron at the 9-yard line, but the Packers are all over him at the 12. So the Bears start deep in their own end. And let's see who comes in at quarterback. Rusty Lish will come out. Brad Anderson comes in at wide receiver. And meanwhile, St. Louis continues to lead the New York Giants 21-14 in the NFC East logjam, and the other big game in that division comes up later here on CBS. The Redskins at Dallas against the Cowboys. And that will be seen everywhere on our network today except in the Chicago area. Those folks of you watching in Chicago will not see it. Lish on first down. Complete. Pat Dunsmore, the tight end. A gain of 7 to the 19-yard line of Chicago. Jay Saldi, number 81, comes in, delivering a play, no doubt. Out goes Dunsmore. It'll be second and a long 2 for the Chicago Bears.
To show you how funny things can happen, the Bears have 4 tight ends and 2 quarterbacks.
That's right. Hadn't thought of it that way. Maybe one of those tight ends will wind up playing quarterback. Second and 2. Walter Payton with a good haul has a first down and drives Tom Flynn all the way out to the 30-yard line. Flynn, number 41, the Pittsburgh rookie, pretty strong young guy at 195 pounds, met Payton head on, found himself being driven back about 4 or 5 yards.
There was a big gaping hole in there, and you'll see 33 Calvin Thomas came across on what you call a trap. There was a running back having to come back and trap a defensive lineman, and Payton got through the hole and just drove for the extra yards, and he's heading towards a 200-yard rushing day here.
You saw good blocks by Covert and Moorhead on that play as well. First down, Chicago. Thomas in motion, goes back the other way. Blitz on a deep drop. The blitz by the Packers, gets away from it momentarily, but they get him. The Green Bay Packers with a strong pass rush all afternoon. This time Alfonso Carricker makes the tackle. Randy Scott right there with him. Carricker, the rookie from Florida State. Number 1 choice this year. A flag is down. Downfield. Holding is the signal against Green Bay. So a fine defensive play will go for naught.
Tom Flynn is talking to the officials saying, hey, the quarterback started to scramble, so all bets are off as far as covering and banging the receiver. And that's what his argument is, but if it was holding, you can't hold it any time. But as far as jamming a receiver or knocking him off, let's see.
Jim Tunney, the referee, will be the arbiter.
And he's a good one, too.
Holding, 26, measured from the line of scrimmage, 5 yards, first down.
Tim Lewis, number 26.
Now this happened in the original part of the play. Boy, he has got a hold of him, huh? He's yanking him. He's going to put that tie on him, isn't he? I'd say that's a little bit too long a holding. You can bang him up to the 5 yards, but as long as it's continuous contact and you can't grab.
Bears first down from their 34. Flag on the play as Payton dives for 5. 2 flags down. And Terry Jones, the nose tackle number 63, tripped him up. So we'll see what happens here. It was a 5-yard pickup for Payton. Lish is 7 of 14 and 42 yards passing for Chicago today. Green Bay leading 13-7 on Del Rogers' 97-yard kickoff return.
Illegal motion, number 81, 5 yards, down remains the same.
Jay Saldi charged with illegal motion, number 81.
Okay, look at the top man on your screen. See, everybody moves. In fact, 2 or 3 men moved at the same time. It looked like a little bit too much before the snap.
Green Bay's defensive team holding the Chicago Bears to 7 points. Came from 28th and last a year ago to number 18 at the moment with 2 games to play. Quite an improvement. Rollout play action. Lish just got away from Douglas and gets the pass to Moorhead. Well, that's Rusty Lish's best pass as a Bear. That was an outstanding pass to Moorhead, running to his left. A right-handed quarterback. That's a tough play anyway, and he just got away from Mike Douglas, who's having a whale of a day for the Pack. Now let's go for another NFL Today report. Brent Musburger in New York.
Tim, a runner's having a whale of a day for the Giants. Little Joe Morris goes 31 yards and sets up their touchdown. The Giants and the Cardinals are even at 21. Back to Tim and Johnny.
Oh, boy. The Cardinal fans have got to be going crazy while they're enjoying that one. 21-21 at St. Louis. Lish rolling to the right on first down. Off the hands of Calvin Thomas, and Thomas just flat out dropped it. He was eager to run and get that first down yardage. No coverage near him. And Mike Douglas taking himself off the field, holding what appears to be his left hand or left arm, and that would be another blow to the Packers.
That's one reason Calvin Thomas does not play more, and especially on 3rd down situations. I think he's dropped 2 or 3 passes today. He hasn't perfected catching that football yet, but he can sure run with it when he does catch it.
It'll be 2nd and 10 Chicago at the Packer 48-yard line. Cliff Lewis, 4-year man from southern Mississippi, has come in to replace Mike Douglas. Most of their injury problems have been on offense for the Packers. Now Douglas is out. Walter Payton tried to pick his way back against the grain, wound up with a 3, maybe a 4-yard gain. Pinned down by Lewis and Scott. That's Cliff Lewis, number 56. And 2 Lewises in defensively now for Green Bay. Tim Lewis on the corner, Cliff Lewis the linebacker. 2:45 to play here in the 3rd period.
Okay, now it'll be an interesting situation as the Packers bring in 3 substitutions for their 3rd and fairly long situation, 7. But the Bears, more than any other team in the NFL, on 3rd and 5 and 6, run the ball a lot more than other teams do. We'll see what they do here.
Draw play to Payton. Gets away from 2 tacklers and just literally drove the tackler back to get the first down. Now, I believe the guy who he popped was Charles Martin, a 270-pounder, and he may have got the first down. Yes, he did. And he got that with sheer strength. Let's watch it again.
Off the play action, the fake of the pass, and of course it was the draw. And you see Jimbo Covert doing a good job on his blocking, and here comes Payton. He knows he's got to get the 7 yards. Willie Gault even hanging in there with Tim Lewis right there to keep Tim Lewis out of it, and there was Payton with the big pop and the contact with Charles Martin.
6'4", 270-pounder.
150 yards rushing.
First down. Bears grinding it out. Lish with lots of time. Flies it into the end zone, and it's intercepted by Tom Flynn. Tom Flynn picks it up in the end zone. His 2nd interception of the day. Lish overthrew everybody except that last defender, and Flynn caught it just inside the end zone.
Rusty Lish, who has shown a tendency to wait too long before he throws the ball. He waits, and then he puts it way up, and everybody gets a chance to react and come off the ball. And it was over Gault, and then there's Flynn with his, that's 8 interceptions? 8. Well, that's a heck of a season for a rookie, huh?
8th on the season, 2nd today, the rookie from Pittsburgh. Green Bay ball and the lead when we return.
Some things look hard, but once you know the secret, they're easy.
It's easy.
Some people think financing a new car is hard, but it isn't. It's easy.
It's as easy as GMAC.
With GMAC, buying or leasing a new GM car or truck is easy. Ask your GM dealer and see how easy it is. Financing a new car may seem hard, but once you know the secret,
It's as easy as GMAC.
It's easy.
The personal computer game is heating up.
May I?
Go ahead. The AT&T personal computer is faster, 2 to 3 times faster than the IBM PC. It has a higher resolution screen, too, for better graphics, and runs thousands of business programs. In fact, it's more computer for the money to put your business ahead of the game.
Your move.
The AT&T personal computer. For the dealer nearest you, call 1-800-247-1212.
Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris back here at Soldier Field, where the Packers' interception by Flynn has them a first down at the 20-yard line. Flynn getting it just inside the end line. Campbell on first down. That's complete to Epps, but he is out of bounds. Philip Epps caught the pass just out of bounds. It'll be 2nd and 10. Well, don't forget, next Saturday on CBS Sports, we have NCAA college basketball, the number 1 and 2 teams in the country. An early season matchup between the Blue Demons of DePaul against number 1 rated Georgetown. Both coming off impressive victories yesterday. DePaul over Notre Dame, Georgetown over UNLV. And you'll see it live at 3:45 Eastern Time, 2:45 Central. The Chicago Bears, not a turnover team this year, have turned it over 5 times today. 3 fumbles, 2 intercepts. Good defensive play by Bell, as there was a fine block on Mike Richardson by number 68, Greg Cook. But Bell, reacting to the ball, knocked Epps down before he could take advantage of the good block by Greg Cook.
Speaking of Greg Landry is warming up. However, he has his jacket on. He doesn't seem to be throwing real hard.
That's not him with the gray hair, but
no.
He does have gray hair himself.
That's right.
Under the hat there on the left.
The uniform is the only way we could tell a difference.
Greg Landry. We may see him yet in this football game. 3rd down and 5. Green Bay, slot formation right. Protecting a 6-point lead. Rich Campbell, the quarterback. Up the middle for Epps, and he can't hold on. It's intercepted on the tip by Dave Duerson. The Bears on the interception to the Packer 33-yard line. That ball popped around off the hands of Philip Epps. The ball a little high with a lot of zip on it from Campbell. Epps couldn't haul it in. Watch it pop around.
I think it was Fensick who popped the ball loose. He's 45, dropping off here as Campbell has pretty good protection here. Time to throw the football, and you'll see Epps come into the picture, but the pass is a little bit high. Here comes Fensick, and I believe it was Fensick. Well, everybody hit it, and there was Dave Duerson, just snagged it right out of the air. Says that's my ball, and he has now got the Bears down to the 33-yard line. First down and a chance to take the lead in this football game. The score, 13-7 Green Bay.
Soon, hundreds of people will be here, eating a huge 6-course meal. Some will get heartburn.
There's nothing packed for heartburn.
He doesn't know the Pepto-Bismol his wife packed for upset stomach and diarrhea is great for heartburn.
Take the Pepto.
Pepto-Bismol. As it coats, it relieves heartburn and most common stomach discomforts. The one that coats is the only one you need.
My heartburn's gone.
Bon voyage.
You wake up 2 hours earlier to do what's best for your body.
Give your body the best.
You work up a big sweat doing it.
Give your body the best.
You need the best deodorant soap you can buy.
Give your body the best with Safeguard. It's better than all the rest. It's Safeguard.
Only fresh-smelling Safeguard has an unbeatable combination of rich, thick lather and deodorant protection. That makes it the best deodorant soap you can buy.
Give your body the best. Give it Safeguard.
Dave Duerson's first interception of the season has the Bears first down at the Packer 34. Rusty Lish gives it to Matt Suhey, and Suhey gets to the 30-yard line, a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6 Chicago. So the teams exchange interceptions. with Tom Flynn grabbing Lish's long bomb in the end zone, but the Bears gaining it right back on a deflection off Epps, and Fensick of the Bears into Dewerson's hands. That's the end of the third quarter. With the score, Green Bay 13, the Bears 7. We pause for a word from your local station.
Second-ranked DePaul takes on top-ranked Georgetown in what could be a preview of things to come. Or see Tulsa against Arkansas college basketball next Saturday on CBS Sports. This is CBS.
Here's Sports Authority Jim Ford with Durkee's Meal Bag.
Here's a letter from the Durkee Packer Fan Club at Pulaski. Orville Kubiak, president. Your story about the Chinese player who sneezed every time he tackled a Packer was hilarious. Now we hear you have a further story about Sneeze Achu. Here's the story. Achu, Dayton halfback, sneezed around the Packer ends 7 times. It says that right here. You wouldn't want any part of anybody that sneezed in your face, would you, Orville? The Packer backs want no part of Sneeze Achu.
Looks like another great year for the old reliables, Ray.
Everybody loves a winner.
Don't be modest, Ray. Everyone knows you're the old reliable spokesman.
So, these Oldsmobiles are great.
People like to take after their heroes, and you really do drive an Olds.
That doesn't mean everyone wants to be like me.
Let's ask this lady. Did Ray Nitschke help persuade you to see this Cutlass Sierra? Well, what then?
I like the front-wheel drive.
See an old reliable, whatever the reason.
This is the time of year when we gather from far and near, and we welcome the season in, and let all the love begin. And the jokes you tell, and the songs you sing, and the sight of your smile still means everything. And I finally get to say, I think of you every day.
Hi, Mama.
Happy holidays, Coors to you.
From the people at Coors.
Join us for Action Sports, noon, 5, 6, and 10.
Well, Santa Claus is a good guy, but that's one he's not going to be able to provide for Bears fans, no matter whether they're from Middletown, Iowa or not. Rusty Lish. Big hole for Payton. First down to the 21-yard line. Walter Payton having a big, big day today. Up over the 150-yard mark rushing.
Cincinnati now ahead of New Orleans by a score of 24-14. So they're going to be, if they win this, they'll be 7-8, and they started off with a horrendous record. Philadelphia could eliminate New England, leading 20-17 in the fourth quarter.
First down, Chicago from the 21. Moorhead in motion behind the ball. Pitch out to Suey. Gets a block from Payton. And a good defensive play at the 20-yard line. Suey took it inside, but Randy Scott, the linebacker, sifted over with him and was waiting for him, holding him to very little gain on the play. The 4-year man from Alabama. Payton, meanwhile, has 159 yards on the day. Well, Cleveland and Pittsburgh, the Steelers still in front 20-13. Pittsburgh needs one win in their remaining 2 games and 1 Cincinnati loss, and they can clinch the AFC Central.
But if they tie, Cincinnati would win on the tiebreaker.
That's right. Kansas City really beating up on Seattle today. Well, those Seahawks were due to have one of those afternoons. They're having an outstanding year. Well, all kinds of motion here on 2nd and 9. And they bury Lish at the line of scrimmage. Pat Dunsmore, number 88, stood up a little early, and there may have been a miscue between quarterback and the offensive line on the count. And it is against the Chicago Bears. Mike Douglas reporting in. Cliff Lewis goes out.
88, decline. Third down.
It was Dunsmore illegally in motion for the Bears, and declined by the Pack will bring 3rd and 9. Douglas returning to the lineup. He had been out with what was appeared to be a hand or an arm injury.
And look at this one now. It's 28-21. St. Louis over the Giants. And Miami has rallied now, has taken the lead over Indianapolis, 28-17, fourth quarter. Big play for the Bears.
3rd and 9, out of the shotgun. Lish under pressure, gets it to Suey. Suey has the first down. A little shovel pass, and boy, they just got that off because the blitzing linebacker was right on top of Lish. Randy Scott and Tom Flynn stopped Suey, and I think it was Douglas who had that lane.
And there's Suey 26. That'll go as a forward pass by Rusty Lish, and probably the biggest completion of this game as Matt Suey takes it down for a first down. The Bears at the 7.5-yard line.
First and goal from the 8-yard line. Remember, the Bears trailing by 6 because of the missed extra point when Scribner, the holder, dropped the pass from center following Del Rogers' kickoff return touchdown. Walter Payton, and he shakes off the tackle. Payton inside the 5. Touchdown! What a play! Get him.
I think it was John Anderson and Tim Lewis were both there, and they had him. And look at him break out of that tackle. That was Carricker that was in on it too, and Payton with a super individual effort and the straight arm to get himself into the end zone. Lewis got the straight arm. Payton got the touchdown. What a play. What a football player.
It looked like he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, and he turns it into a touchdown. Thomas can give the Bears the lead. And he does. 12:22 remaining in regulation time. Jim McMahon congratulates Walter Payton. The Bears have the lead.
And the Packers obviously had to play well defense. It was just individual effort.
Cimarron. Cadillac Cimarron, the luxury of leather in the Cadillac of smaller cars, touring suspension in the Cadillac of smaller cars. Cimarron. Cadillac Cimarron. Choose V6 power and gas-charged shocks. A new breed of agile, mobile, new style Cadillac. The Cadillac of smaller cars. Cimarron. Just remember one thing, best of all, it's a Cadillac.
There's a style in your life no one could ever deny. You're on your way to the top, and along the way you've always known just who you are. Where you're going, you've always known it. Where you're going, it's make a love.
Where you're going, it's exceptionally smooth Michelob.
Where you're going, it's make a love.
Bob Thomas, who just kicked the point after to give the Bears the lead, will kick it off for Chicago. The magical one, Walter Payton, a 7-yard touchdown. A bouncing kickoff fielded by Del Rogers. Rogers took it the distance last time, not this time. Stopped at the 23-yard line by Brian Cabral, and a little extracurricular activity again. It's been a hard-fought football game, and both teams have had additional injuries to go with the impressive lists they brought into the game in that department. And now Brian Baschnagel is being helped off. And we see that Payton is up to 166 yards and a touchdown. Following Dave Duerson's interception, the Bears went 33 yards in 6 plays, used up 3 minutes on the clock, and culminated it in the touchdown run by Walter Payton. Brian Baschnagel being assisted from the field. That reduces the Bears' offensive wide receiving core down to Willie Gault, Brad Anderson, and rookie Jack Cameron. First down, Green Bay from their 22. Eddie Lee Ivory breaks tackles and has a first down for the Pack out to the 34-yard line. Rich Campbell, the passer at quarterback now, is 5 of 11. He goes to the run here.
as the Packers just wheeled those Bear defensive linemen out a gaping hole, as Ivory just went straight up the field and then just kept his legs going, spun out of it like a good gymnast will do, and almost got, in fact, he did get the first down. So plenty of time in this football game, still 11 minutes and 34 seconds.
First down, Green Bay at their own 34. Play action. Campbell is sacked by Richard Dent.
Oh, Tim Huffman is having a tough time with Richard Dent. Of course, Huffman's playing at a tackle spot, and that makes it rough. You know, he likes to play guard, but you'll see Dent at the bottom of your screen. He's 95. 74 is Huffman blocking on him, and Campbell never sees Dent company. He really gets clobbered from behind. Down he goes. Richard Dent with his 15th sack of this football season, which places him second in the NFL.
And number 1 in the NFC. And he has been close to a sack several times today. He's had terrific quarterback pressure. Finally got his man. The first sack by the Bears today. Epps in motion. 2nd and 17. Campbell intended for a loft and nearly picked off by Terry Schmidt. The pass overthrown, and Schmidt almost had himself an intercept. He's in there for the injured Sean Gale. Very shortly, we are going to be going to CBS News in New York for a special report. So stay with us as our news department continues to follow the tragic events in Tehran.
The Bears are the best team in the NFL on third down situations. 28% of the passes is all that's been completed against the Bears on third down.
3rd and 17, slot formation to the right. Rich Campbell, the number 3 Packer quarterback, on the spot. They go to Harlan Huckabee. Huckabee takes it up the sideline, driven out by Bell. The ball popped loose, but he was already out of bounds. And so the Bears have stopped the Packers. 4th down at the Green Bay 40-yard line. And the Bears, with 10:43 to play in this regulation time, will have the football and a 1-point margin. Well, now we'll take a timeout here, and for a special report from Tehran, let's go to CBS News in New York.
Good afternoon. This is a special report from CBS News, New York. I'm Renee Ferguson. Iran's official news agency says Iranian security police have stormed the Kuwaiti airliner at Tehran airport, and the hijackers and remaining hostages were seen walking down the landing steps with their hands raised in the air. It appears from those reports that the hostage situation is now over. This has been a special report from CBS News, New York.
And Bucky Scribner's punt, taken by the Bears. Jeff Fisher returned to the Chicago 31-yard line, where it is first down for the Bears. 10:32 to play, regulation time. In motion, Suey. They give us to Payton. Payton running behind the left guard. Mark Bortz picks up about 4. They'll spot the ball at the 34-yard line of the Chicago Bears. 10:16 and ticking. Suey a little slow to get up, and now comes off, replaced by Thomas.
Isn't Walter Payton a wonder? He's carried over 3,000 times. He's been banged up all this football season, and they say he's been pounded down and took a rough beating last week, and he comes up with some of the moves that he's come up in this football game. If there's a close thing to a Superman when it comes to football, I'd have to say it's Walter Payton.
30 years of age plus. Lish, the pass is deflected. I believe John Anderson got his hand up on it, number 59. And hard to know who the intended target was. It might have been the tight end Saldi, or deeper downfield to Thomas. But John Anderson, with an alert play, swats it away for Green Bay. 3rd down. Lish is 9 of 19 and 79 yards. 1 interception.
The Packers go into the prevent.
Payton with 169 yards. Today we saw him as a tailback and a semi-single wing setup, a spread formation as the deep man throwing the ball. He's rushed the ball, caught the ball, run the ball, returned kickoffs, even punted once.
Estes Hood is in the game, the 5 defensive back setup.
They hand it off to Payton, and good coverage by the Packers, led by Mike Douglas, number 53. They made the initial contact, and they stopped the Bears and forced them to punt. Tom Flynn finished off Payton, and they were ready for that one.
Oh, they smelled that one out. The safeties were coming up for the run before the snap of the ball.
You can see Douglas favoring that left arm as he goes off. What a leader he's been for this Packer team, the 7-year man from San Diego State. Great speed and great anticipation. He's always around the ball. Flynn is the deep man at the 30-yard line of Green Bay. Finzer standing at the Bears' 20. Short punt by Finzer. Caught on the fly by Flynn, and he gets to the 48-yard line of Green Bay before he is dropped. And it was Jay Hilgenberg who made the tackle, but Green Bay in good field position. Another Bear is down and injured on the play.
Ever since that summer job, way back then, you've dreamed of having your own Eldorado. Now you've realized your dream. Your 1985 Eldorado is a very special Cadillac with a special way of moving you like no other car. You were right all along. Eldorado is the car that dreams are made of.
Best of all, it's a Cadillac.
There are lots of times when overnight is just not fast enough.
Hello, Federal? I've got to get this to the coast today.
With Zapmail, we can get an exact copy of something clear across the country in just 2 hours from the minute you pick up the phone. Contracts, documents, drawings, whatever. Incredibly, in just 2 hours. Zapmail from Federal Express, when overnight is just not fast enough.
Tuesday, she was an abused peasant girl whose revenge was to become a plaything of the rich.
Loving me is expensive.
But she would live one of the greatest love stories ever told, Camille.
Pat Dunsmore, the latest injury victim, was helped off the field by the Bears training staff, getting attention. Meanwhile, the Green Bay Packers down by a point. Have first down. Campbell on a short drop. Intended for Epps, incomplete. Terry Schmidt on the coverage, number 44. Now remember, Schmidt is in there for Gale, who was in there for Frazier, so they're down to 3 deep at cornerback. And the Bears and the Packers both 3 deep at quarterback. Lish for the Bears, Campbell for the Pack.
If you're going to be logical, since Schmidt is an 11-year veteran, been around a while, hasn't played much corner this year because he's been a reserve, he's the guy you would go after, especially when you got one-on-one coverage. Now you've got Lofton coming out here, and we'll see if they help Terry Schmidt. Looks like inside-outside on Lofton with Pensick and Schmidt.
2nd and 10, Green Bay. The give is to Krause. The rookie fullback out of the Canadian League is stopped cold at the line of scrimmage. Henry Wachter was there, Steve McMichael, and Dan Hampton. Henry Wachter, who joined the club this week after the injury to Hartenstein, had been drafted by the Bears a couple of years ago, played last year with the Baltimore Colts, cut this year after the 3rd game of the year down in Indianapolis, and gets a chance to come right back in and step in as a starter. Well, there's an interesting stat. 171 yards to 84. Payton over Green Bay in rushing. Dewerson and Fisher in as the extra defensive backs on 3rd and 8. Richard Dent, a flying sack of Rich Campbell.
$16 sacks for Dent, and Forrest Gregg, who played the tackle position himself, can't believe it. I think what's going to happen is you're going to have to give Tim Huffman a little help over there. You can't see it. It's over to the right of your side. He went inside of Huffman 74 that time, Dent did, and got through. But there's ways that you can help a tackle if he's having trouble with somebody, and so far the Packers have declined to do that.
Well, Huffman started for Swanke, then got a rest, and Johnny speculated it may have been because Dent was doing a number on him. Swanke came in and apparently re-injured his shoulder. Meanwhile, a booming punt by Scribner, bounces into the end zone and will be a touchback. Bucky Scribner really nailed that one. But the Bears will have the football at the 20-yard line and a 1-point lead with 7:33 to play.
All Out is the only way you go. And it earns you the rewards of success. Naturally, that includes the car you drive. Distinctive, elegant. Seville goes all out to achieve your high goals for luxury travel. Drive the 1985 Seville, the car for those who, like you, choose to go first class all the way.
Best of all, it's a Cadillac.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
Honey, what's this?
The cordless electronic telephone on sale for only $99.95.
This'll really save me space.
The convenient cordless telephone has a 100-foot range and an AM/FM clock radio base unit.
Oh, honey, it's a perfect gift for Christmas.
It's for my mother? Maybe not. The sale-priced cordless electronic telephone with AM/FM digital clock radio, only at Radio Shack.
Wednesday, it's romance, it's adventure, but mostly it's laughs when Mel Brooks, Cleavon Little, Gene Wilder, Harvey Korman, and Madeline Kahn star in Blazing Saddles.
First down, Chicago from their 20-yard line. Lish continues at quarterback. Tim Ryan with Johnny Morris. We are live at Soldier Field. This is Calvin Thomas, and the Packers rise up to stop him at the line of scrimmage. There'll be no gain. Cliff Lewis made the stop, but the charge made by Robert Brown was the key defensive effort on the play. Now let's take a look at what's happening in St. Louis. A 10-point margin, a 34-yard field goal by O'Donohue, and the Cardinals with 4:54 remaining have a 10-point lead. Now if they win, of course, they will move up to 9-6, and the Giants would fall to 9-6, and Washington and Dallas meet next here on CBS. Most of you, everybody except those in the Chicago area, will be seeing that key game in the NFC East. The Redskins at Dallas. This is Payton. Payton is met there by Anderson and dove for about 2. Little cat and mouse game between John Anderson, the linebacker number 59, and finally Brown and Cliff Lewis made sure that Payton didn't get any farther.
You know, you'd have to say, with the exception of some great individual effort by Payton, and the Packers defense has played a darn good football game. They've really shut the Bears down, and just some super plays by Payton and some great running is the only thing that has really gone well for the Chicago Bears. He threw the option pass for the touchdown. He ran for the one on a great individual effort. Otherwise, the Packers have done well.
In fact, the 2 Chicago scores came off turnovers by Green Bay at their 14 and their 34. This is Lish getting lots of time upfield for Anderson, and it is incomplete. Brad Anderson, the intended receiver. Mark Murphy, number 37, broke it up. Anderson, the rookie from Arizona, number 86.
A good hustling play by Brad Anderson to prevent the interception, because Murphy had this one. The pass was short. Murphy thought he had an interception. Brad Anderson reached back up and over and prevented that. So at least he did what a good receiver is supposed to do. When you can't catch it yourself, make sure the other guy doesn't catch it.
4th down. The Packers will have good field position again, as their defense once more does the job. Finzer standing at his 5. Tom Flynn at the Packer 42. Oh, dandy. A beautiful kick by Finzer. Backs up Flynn to the 30. And he called fair catch, and the Packers will start from their 30-yard line, trailing by a point with 5:48 to play. Regulation time. Congratulatory handshake for Finzer from Ditka. Well, don't forget that next Saturday there is NFL action on CBS Sports at noon Eastern. The NFL will have a special feature on the Giants quarterback Phil Simms, and then the Simms-led Giants will take on the New Orleans Saints. And with the Cardinals leading the Giants at the moment in today's game, that looms as a huge game for the Giants, beginning at 12 noon Eastern time next Saturday on CBS Sports. This is Gary Ellis, big hole. First down, Green Bay. Close to midfield. Fensick made the tackle, Good blocking out the right side by Hallstrom and Cook.
And that's where the Packers have gotten most of their running yardage. Let's take a look on the old trap block, crisscross blocking. And Ellis found the hole. He got a good block from Hallstrom there coming across. And it was Fensick with a diving tackle to stop him. The Packers are in pretty good field position.
One would think they'd be running at that Henry Wachter in there with just a couple of days practice and inactive for the last several weeks. Up the middle it is Eddie Lee Ivory for another Packer first down. Al Harris stopped him at the 45-yard line, and suddenly the Packers running game comes together.
Let's watch the right side of the line. You can see Hallstrom, and we'll see Euchre comes across 70. Good blocking by number 70 on Al Harris, number 90. And he pushes Harris off a ways, and they do get the tackle, but not before Green Bay gets a first down and getting close to field goal territory.
Scrappy Packer squad. Ivory to the 42-yard line, 4:32 to play. That gain will be about 3 yards. And Wachter and Fensick combined to make the stop.
Well, Henry Wachter, it's his first game, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I mean, that's tough. He's been playing a lot in there. The Bears miss Mike Hartenstein with his injury. So if the Packers do run again and decide they're going to go down the field running the ball, you got to figure it's going to go to the right where they've been getting their yardage.
Second and a long 6 for Green Bay. The tight end West in motion as a blocker. Ivory is stopped. There'll be a slight loss on the play. Mike Singletary, the middle linebacker. Number 50 made the stop, and another Bear is slow to get up. It has been that kind of a day for both teams. That is Otis Wilson, number 55. Gets up limping. Green Bay today has had 12 third down situations. They have failed to convert one. They are 0 for 12.
And will they throw the ball? 3rd and 6.
Fisher and Dewerson, 6 backs in defensively for Chicago. On 3rd down, Campbell just gets it away, and it is complete. Philip Epps, for the first time today, they convert. And the Green Bay Packers, but a flag is down. A flag is down.
There was some holding.
Epps got to the Bears 26. It will go for naught.
I couldn't tell who it was, but it was on the left side of the pocket. On the left side of the pocket, somebody was holding at the last second.
And some words being exchanged as they have been all day. This has been a real dogfight down there. Green Bay fighting for a 500 record this year. Their playoff hopes ended early when they went 1-7.
Holding, 74, 10 yards. Down remains the same.
Tim Huffman has had a long afternoon. 74. You see him right at the left of your screen. He's dancing along there with Richard Dent, and boy, that's a pretty good two-step, I'd say. Now there's the call on 74, Tim Huffman.
Close encounters of a tackle kind at the line of scrimmage. Tim Huffman has gotten to know Richard Dent very well today. 3rd down, Campbell gets the time, now runs out of it, and it is Hampton. Who did not practice all week, who Mike Ditka said can't play tomorrow when we talked to the coach yesterday. Hampton said, I'll be there.
This time 95 Dent went to the turf. You can see the block is down goes 95, but Hampton kept up his block, and it was Huffman that he threw aside and made the tackle on. Good play by Dan Hampton, and I tell you, tough day for Huffman.
Tim Huffman, the 4-year man from Notre Dame, who has done awfully well since becoming a starter at guard about 4 games into the season, but having a real tough day at tackle for the injured Carl Swanke. So big defensive play by the Chicago Bears. Scribner throws, and it is incomplete. Scribner had the pass there intended for Gary Hayes, a defensive back. Now, I don't know whether Hayes would have been able to get first down yardage. There were Bears in the territory, but the left-handed passing Bucky Scribner threw a perfect strike on the fake punt.
Well, that's a long way to do a fake punt, 40 yards for a first down. I think he would have had to deke out one man if he did catch the ball, but the pass was a pretty good pass. There's the man he would have had to fake out to get down the sidelines, but he still would have had about 20 yards to get that first down. So that's a long way to make a fake punt go. There's Scribner. His reaction is, oh, no. Of course, Scribner was involved in the extra point that didn't make it, right?
Well, you got to like the call, though. They were fourth down, and the Bears were going to have possession with 2:36 to play. They've now got it upfield. Walter Payton gets to the 32-yard line. So the Packers were certainly trying, and now Mark Murphy gets up, holding his arm or shoulder. Timeout is called by the Pack. 2:28 on the clock. A gain of 4 for Payton will leave a 2nd and 6 at the Green Bay 33.
Mark Murphy is injured. He seems to ding that shoulder every other game or so, and then it goes away and he comes back in. But Mark Murphy's going to come off the field, 37. He's played a good game.
Darrell Jones comes in for him, and we see Tampa Bay has defeated Atlanta 23-6. Not a lot at stake there except some pride for both those clubs. And look at this, Cincinnati with a very big win over New Orleans, 24-21. So Cincinnati stays in the thick of things for the AFC Central Championship. Philadelphia eliminated New England today. The Pats falling by 10. And that clinches it for the Los Angeles Raiders as a wild card. And, of course, that's trouble for the rest of the league when you're talking Super Bowl. Miami came from behind to whip up on Indianapolis 35-17. 4 touchdown passes by Dan Marino.
And look at this one, 20-20, fourth quarter. If Pittsburgh loses, they'll be tied with Cincinnati.
All right, here in Chicago, 2nd and a long 5 for the Bears. Play resuming. Lish, the quarterback. The give is to Calvin Thomas. He is straightened up after a gain of a couple. Took a pretty good pop. I believe Bill Neal, the nose man, was in on it. One of the linebackers made the big hit.
Scott was in there.
Scott, number 55, Randy Scott. Timeout again called by Green Bay. A lot of courageous players on that field today, and a lot of hard hitting going on. 2:22 to play. Bears by 1, and they have the ball.
When do you say L.A.?
When I have a lunch meeting with my 3 biggest customers, I say L.A. Who had the side of beef?
When do you say L.A.?
When I sit down for a long night of cards with the boys, I say L.A. How do you play this game anyway?
From Anheuser-Busch, L.A. beer. Great taste with half the alcohol. Sometimes it's the perfect thing to say.
You can say that again. Cut.
L.A. Sometimes it's the perfect thing to say.
Cimarron. Cadillac Cimarron. The luxury of leather in the Cadillac of smaller cars. Touring suspension in the Cadillac of smaller cars. Cimarron. Cadillac Cimarron. Choose V6 power and gas-charged shocks. A new breed of agile, mobile, new style Cadillac. The Cadillac of smaller cars. Cimarron. Just remember one thing, best of all, it's a Cadillac.
Sunday, John Ritter, Shelley Long, Joan Collins, Cary Grant, Burt Reynolds, and over 100 stars in a night of love, laughter, and surprises. An all-star party for Lucille Ball.
Tim Ryan and Johnny Morris back at Soldier Field. 3rd down and 4 for the Chicago Bears at the Packer 31. Bears lead by a point. Moorhead in motion. The give is to Payton. Payton diving, trying to get to the first down yardage, tripped up by Bill Neal. Neal, who wears braces on both knees, dropped by the New York Giants in the final cuts after being one of their better defensive players, picked up by Green Bay happily, and he's happy in Green Bay. Alternating with Terry Jones.
Looks like it's going to be 4th down. Now the Bears could go for a field goal. They could try and run and just keep the ball. Looks like they're going to go 4th and 1.
4th and less than a yard. In come defensive substitutions. Terry Jones joins Bill Neal along the front. And they've got the other big guys in, Humphrey and Carricker, and we've reached the 2-minute warning. at Soldier Field. 4th down, less than a yard to go. Bears by 1.
This NFL Most Valuable Player segment is brought to you by IBM. 1983. Joe Theismann quarterbacks the Washington Redskin offense to an NFL record 541 points. By completing over 60% of his passes and tossing a career-high 29 touchdowns, Theismann helps earn the Skins a spot in Super Bowl 18 and is named the league's most valuable player.
To run the Hat of the Month Club in a business-like way, the boss has to keep the books, organize the files, write the letters, be creative, and still keep on top of things. The boss could bring home a tool for modern times, the IBM personal computer. It can help the business person wear many hats and sell even more. The IBM personal computer. Try one on at a store near you.
2 minutes to play. 4th down, a little less than a yard to go. The Bears are going to go for it. They lead by 1 point, 14-13. Peyton straightened up, and I do not believe he made it. The Green Bay Packers. Randy Scott, I believe, was the guy who made the initial hit, and right with him was Rich Wingo. And it is apparent that he is stopped short. So the Green Bay Packers, what a gritty defensive display today. Remember, the Bears' 2 touchdowns came with turnovers at the 14 and 34-yard lines that they took in to convert. Otherwise, they've been stopped cold today.
And boy, were the Packers waiting for Walter Payton. He's coming out of that I formation, 8 yards deep. He had no chance to get to the line of scrimmage. And as you know, the Bears disdained the field goal attempt, fearing a blocked field goal or something that could turn the game right around, and they're going to depend on the defense. The Packers still have, I believe, 1 timeout, and they're going to have to drive some 40 or 50 yards to get a shot at a field goal.
And it was Wingo who made the stop. St. Louis has defeated the Giants 31-21. Dallas and Washington will make that NFC East picture even more clear. The game is underway. Most of you will see it. Campbell for Lofton, complete. Was he inbounds? Yes. 1st down at the 40-yard line. Forced out by Mike Richardson. Packers with 1:38 and counting. They have only 1 timeout remaining, remember, trailing by a point. Campbell gets it away to Eddie Lee Ivory. Al Harris makes the ankle tackle. Close to a 1st down on a good second effort by Ivory, the Georgia Tech grad. Hurry-up offense now with Campbell, the 3rd-string quarterback, continuing as he replaced Randy Wright early in the game when Wright went down with a knee injury. The pass is complete to Ivory, away from Singletary. Eddie Lee Ivory, stopped by Richardson at the 33-yard line. 58 seconds, and timeout is called.
Ivory, complete.
Well, of course, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati involved in key games. Let's go to Brent Musburger for an update.
Tim, the Cincinnati Bengals had won, and here are the Steelers with a chance to pull it out, and Gary Anderson nails a 34-yard field goal, so they beat Cleveland 23-20, and now they must beat the Raiders next Sunday on the West Coast. Let's go back to Tim and Johnny.
All right. Well, there's a lot of excitement in the NFL today with all of these playoff races coming down to the final couple of weeks. Championships at stake. And meanwhile, Dallas has jumped into the lead at home against the Redskins. Most of you will see the remainder of that game at the conclusion of ours. Everybody except those in the Chicago area. Rich Campbell, the 3rd-string quarterback, currently 8 of 16, trying to make a big play happen here. Now here's how things look. Dallas at 9-5, Washington 9-5, just underway at Dallas. The Giants losing, fall to 9-6, and the Cardinals pull into a tie with the Giants at 9-6. So it's going to go down to the final week no matter what. Meanwhile, Washington and Dallas, how that affects the Bears there is if Washington can win the game, the Bears hold on to win here, which is certainly in doubt, and win next week at Detroit, they would get that home field advantage they want.
No timeouts left now. Campbell has done a good job under pressure on this drive so far as Mike Ditka realizes that one more completion and the Packers would be in good shape for a field goal.
Del Greco's longest, 42 yards.
Blitz.
Deep for Lofton, incomplete. Campbell threw that in a hurry when he saw the blitz. Our telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of the Chicago Bears and the National Football League is prohibited. If you've already done any of those things already, it's too late for us to warn you of the dire things that will happen.
Campbell did a good job on that play. He was about to be sacked and had the presence of mind. He threw it deep and far out of bounds. 53 seconds. No timeouts.
Second down at the Bear 33.
Here they come.
Short drop. The pass intended for Kaufman, incomplete. Again with the blitz on, Campbell appeared to rush the pass. He threw it too low. Kaufman had nowhere to go. There were two Bears on it. Third down.
So now what do? Third down, 10 yards to go. Right now you're at the area of about a 50-yard field goal attempt. You have 50 seconds and no timeouts.
Al Del Greco. I showed a long of 42 in my stats, but we won't quibble about a yard. Third down. Campbell with a deep drop. Gets some time. Has a man, but he throws it away. Too far for Philip Epps. A flag down, however. A flag on the play at the line of scrimmage. Bears are signaling a hold against Green Bay, and the penalty is marked against the Packers.
Now they could decline it. It would be fourth down, but if I was the Bears, you'd have to take the penalty, I think, not give them a shot at a 50-yard field goal, and you'd have to put them back too far out of field goal range. If I was the coach, I'd take the penalty anyway and give them another down.
Holding, 65. Penalty accepted. 10 yards. The down remains the same.
Okay. Well, Mike Ditka agreed with you, Johnny, and made no hesitation at all. It is third down, 20. Now it's out at the Bears' 43-yard line. 44 seconds to play.
I don't think the Bears are going to give them much time to set up.
Packers are 0 for 13 on third down today. The crowd comes to its feet.
Here they come.
Just got it away. Intended for Epps. He's got it. Touchdown. Seconds on the clock. Rich Campbell, the third-string quarterback, hits from 43 yards to Philip Epps. Terry Schmidt was the victim. He seemed to misjudge the flight of the ball. Epps was waiting for it, and when he had it, he battled his way into the end zone.
And give some credit to Rich Campbell, because I think Schmidt never thought he was going to get the ball off. People were hanging all over him as the Bears put the blitz on. There's Jeff Fisher, had a hold of him, couldn't hang on. Schmidt got caught off stride. Epps came back, and then he puts a little fake on Schmidt, gets into the end zone before Todd Bell, 25, and Gary Fensick, 45, could make the tackle. Unbelievable play.
34 seconds remaining. Al Del Greco for the point after. And he's got it. So the Green Bay Packers hung in and hung in. Their defense doing a great job throughout the game. And finally, Rich Campbell, the third-string quarterback, victimized a third-string cornerback.
Okay, Campbell with the Doug Flutie act here, and of course Schmidt's going to be criticized. There's no way you can let anybody get behind you when you're on a prevent defense, and they had so far to go. You got to make them at least kick the field goal, and there was Schmidt's cardinal sin. No matter what, you don't let anybody get behind you.
Schmidt in for Sean Gale, who was in for Leslie Frazier. Gale we saw in Civvies a while ago, so his knee injury, we don't know the severity, but he didn't stay in uniform. 71 yards in 6 plays. The Green Bay Packers with a win today and a win next week, could even their record at 8-8, which would be a remarkable finish because, after all, they started out 1-7. They've won 5 of their last 6. And Forrest Gregg, who says he's plenty happy to be back in Green Bay, accepts the pressure there of trying to turn the program around and has good vibes about the future for the Green Bay Packers.
The Bears only have 10 men on the field right now. I don't know what the strategy is in that.
Willie Gault is one of them as a deep man with Dave Duerson. And he's not normally back there, and they're looking obviously for a chance, and he's got the ball. Willie Gault. Now he's going to throw it over to Duerson. Pretty good pass, but good coverage by Cassidy. And now he's hauled down by number 28. And that is Mike McLeod, a reserve defensive back. So a little razzle-dazzle by the Bears, and they got a pretty good return, but not what they had hoped for. Out to the 35.
The Bears did this one with only 10 men on the field. That's not too bad. As Gault goes up, throws the long pass lateral back, and there's not much else you can do when you're in this kind of situation. You got to try and score in 34 seconds. Good block by Saldi there, and finally they take Duerson out of bounds. So here comes some Hail Mary stuff. A field goal won't do it for the Bears. It's a touchdown, as the Packers will probably be playing very, very loose.
Rusty Lish out of the shotgun, rolling right, and complete to Moorhead to the 45, out of bounds with 18 seconds on the clock. Mark Lee made the tackle. Lish right on the money there to Moorhead. 20-14. Packer lead. Bears have all of their timeouts remaining. Whether they'll get to use them or not with 18 seconds on the clock remains to be seen. They got to get one of them in if they need it. Again, the little roll to right for Lish. Gets lots of time. Takes it upfield and out of bounds. 11 seconds left. Good coverage deep by the Packers. Gault was the real deep man, and he was covered by Darrell Jones, the Georgia rookie, number 43. Now Ditka, a chance to give the play to Lish right there at the sideline. Lish 10 out of 21, 99 yards. He's had one picked off today. They need 2 yards for the first down. With 11 seconds left, that's almost moot. The ball is at the Green Bay Packer 37-yard line. We have had all kinds of entertainment here today. Rolling left. He gets lots of time. Intended for Gault. It is broken up. 4 seconds remaining. 3 defenders around Willie Gault. The pass a little short. Mike McLeod, the man to get a hand on the ball. Number 28, another refugee from the Canadian Football League. The Packers have 3 or 4 they picked up this season from the CFL.
Okay, they've got to be discussing some kind of something down the field, an alley-oop or something, because this is the last play, and it's ironic when you're behind, you lose a game 20-14, and you don't use one timeout. Isn't it? You end up with 3 timeouts left. It's just the way the football game kind of twisted around.
Jack Cameron is in, Anderson and Willie Gault, and they're all out on the right-hand side. So look for some action down in the corner to the right.
They're going to try and prevent it from getting down the field there.
Lish steps up and fires it into the end zone, and that's going to be in the seats.
Not
One
much
hopper
chance
over
for that
the wall,
one.
and that is it. So the Green Bay Packers come up with a terrific effort, a couple of big plays, the Del Rogers touchdown run and the touchdown pass to Epps. For Johnny Morris, this is Tim Ryan saying so long from Soldier Field, where the score, the Green Bay Packers 20, the Chicago Bears 14. Coming up next, the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League will continue after this word from your local station.
United flies more people to Hawaii than any other airline.